Welcome back, everybody, to Goodwill Podcasting with Connor, Dan, and Stone. Your movie podcast that today is talking about Avatar, Fire and Ash. Yes, James Cameron's out-of-this-world epic saga is back in theaters only after 3 years from The Way of Water. We did not have to wait 19 years this time. And when it's time to find out if fans really do still love Avatar, or they just like waiting for Avatar. The film is out in theaters. We are here to talk about this third entry, and we're not here to talk about it alone. We have a returning guest on. I cannot remember the last time you were here. There was Lord of the Rings. I don't know if there was any. Was it Lord of the Rings? So it's been like a year since.
Like a year exactly, almost.
Yeah. I mean, you hear him. It's Joel. It's Vetzmovies. Welcome back.
From
the world of. Oh, my bad. It wasn't in your username there.
Yeah, that's my bad.
How long have you been using the Minecraft background? I have to know the lore behind that, the mindset.
Well, we all know that a Minecraft movie is the greatest movie ever created. So I just kind of want to honor that forever and always. But no, I just needed to like randomly make a video one day, and I was like, I don't want to do the green screen. I will just find some background, and this was not too distracting, I thought, until every comment was like, why is bro in Minecraft? But now it's my thing.
Like it.
I like it a lot. I sent Dan a video not too long ago. I think there's a trend going around. You're the Minecraft guy, so you might have saw it, but there's like a trend going around where people are like, yeah, it's been such a difficult year, and it's just two pictures. It's like a slide, and it's like a picture of yourself. It's like, oh, it's been such a difficult year, but I have this memory still. And then you swipe it. It's just like a random like footage in a theater of a random scene from Minecraft. It's just like Jack Black flying in the air. It's like, this was the peak of 2025.
It really was. The chicken jockey moment. We'll never live it down.
I can't believe that Jack Black's about to come out with that Anaconda movie too. Like, I feel like they announced that movie was happening.
That shit looks
around
horrible.
Yeah, I think I'm done with movies for 2025, honestly. Like, I think I'm retiring. I've seen the new releases I want to see. Like, do I need to see The Housemaid? Do I need to see Anaconda? I don't think so. I think I'm going to give myself a break. Or I'll make a review on them in like a week, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'll say, oh yeah, you already saw Marty Supreme too, so.
Twice.
You guys should watch. Is This Thing On?
That's
I have
a Christmas
screener for that.
Yeah, it's the Bradley Cooper movie.
Okay. Yeah, Bradley Cooper directed, Will Arnett and Laura Dern.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's like I host a movie podcast. Look at me, so good.
Yes.
Speaking of so good, we're going to talk about what came before Fire and Ash. Before we talk about the movie itself. Two special previews got shown before some screenings. Oh, do I have a bone to pick? I live in between Tampa and Orlando, and I have AMC A-List. And unfortunately, the closest AMCs to me is 40 minutes to Tampa, 40 minutes to Orlando. And I went to 40 minutes to the closest IMAX. And even though it's my closest theater that has IMAX, it always, if on the website, they're like, we're going to hand out a poster at this screening. I like getting posters. I have posters behind me. That theater is notorious for not following the status quo and doing what online AMC.com tells them to do.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, I love my wife to death. And I appreciate you, Leah, if you're listening to this. I know you aren't, but be cool if you did. She doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to podcasts. She only listens to romantasy books, which that's her thing, which is fine. I went to the theater 40 minutes away, an IMAX screening of Avatar Fire and Ash, my second screening of the movie, and I went and got a ticket just to see the trailers. They didn't play. Went 45 minutes out of my way for that one purpose. But today I did get to see it in the theater, an hour and 15 minutes away. So I have seen the Odyssey prologue. I have seen Avengers Doomsday. Joel, what do you think? I know you already shared your thoughts a little bit. I think you made a video about the Odyssey trailer. You're like, what did I just watch? You know, your intros that I love.
Some classic little clickbait there. Got to say a word and switch the frame immediately 2 seconds in because everybody's attention span gone. But starting with the Odyssey, I mean, I am like the #1 biggest Nolan fan, honestly. Like, it could be the worst movie ever, and I'd probably be like, okay, it's still like an 8 out of 10. But I genuinely think it looks incredible. I just saw Dan's video, and I'm so glad he said it because I was going to make the same exact thing. Why everybody cares about the historical accuracy, quote unquote, I don't care whatsoever. It looks incredible. I feel like this is going to be Nolan's true masterpiece. Like, I feel like even though I don't know if I'd say Oppenheimer is the second like of my favorites, like you can tell he's becoming a master at his craft, I feel like. And I feel like this is just going to be it's just going to be the movie of 2026. That and Dune Part 3 are like the blockbusters that are going to be like the staples of theaters.
Yeah, and I think like the other aspect to that, which I didn't put in my video, but I should have, like the screen grab everyone is using. It doesn't even look right. That's not even accurate. It doesn't look right. It's there's clearer versions of what it actually looks like. It looks way more metallic. The gold looks way less like the gold clasps look way less like rubbery and dollar stories. They look like actually real like metal, and the helmet itself and the armor at the top looks way better. So like, and it's also like I said in the video, like that's Agamemnon. He's not in the fucking movie. Like that's not going to be in the entire movie. It's going to be a little piece of a story in the prologue, and that's it. So like, what are we? I just don't understand the outrage. And like, I don't know if you guys saw that lady's video about the armorer in Greece that they reached out. It's like they didn't call him back. Who cares? Like a professional relationship didn't develop. I don't care. Like,
Also, it would look terrible. I'm sorry. It would ruin the movie that Nolan's making if it looked like what everybody wants it to look like. And even the stuff of like, have you seen the picture of like Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway they released? Where
yeah,
it's just them
yeah.
in like regular clothing kind of, and everybody's like, oh my God, is this sponsored by Zara or something? I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the greatest costumes in the world. Again, I do not care. When I see the prologue and the actual trailer, I don't know if you guys saw that one as well. Um, that's now playing in theaters too, but it's releasing
Oh
online
shit.
tomorrow, I think. Like an
Let's
actual
go. Let's
true
go.
trailer. Um,
Finally.
it just I don't know. I don't understand getting stuck up on those things when this looks like it's going to be. I mean, it's a beautiful looking movie too from the prologue, how it's shot. It's dark and you can actually see stuff. It's like I don't care about the armor, and like you said, it looks better anyways. Like it's not like it looks bad. It just where all these people are coming from that suddenly care about this detail. I don't know.
The thing that's frustrating to me too is like I'm all about like, you know, I think it's good to care about stuff and be aware and know what you're like. That's all great, but like if you care that much, don't watch the movie. Like when you complain, and then you go and watch it, like that's just cringy as shit, I think. Like if you care that much, don't watch it, but all these people are gonna watch it. So like what why are you acting like it's the end of the world now? And like there's just so much other stuff to care about. I don't know.
The thing I loved most about it that stuck out to me was it kind of felt like a big middle finger to I'm not bashing Marty Supreme, even though he's in the movie, but it felt like a big middle finger to Kevin O'Leary with this whole quote. It's like use extras, just use AI. You don't have to use extras because Dan, it's like the first because I can't remember if we say this. Dan has not watched the prologue like me and Joel, but he basically knows what happened. We explained it to him. You get like 200, 300 extras, like right at the beginning of this thing. I'm like, that's so cool to see. There's so many people on the screen. I'm like, those are real people who wanted to be in this movie, felt very passionate, took the time out of their day, just want to be part of a little bit of history. And I just thought that's cool. Like that's what we need to see in films is like a filmmaker and a story that's dedicated to casting people like that. I think you mentioned this too, Joel, in your video. The thing that stood out the most, though, I like that a lot, and I kind of knew the story about the Trojan horse, so it was great to see the visuals that were on the screen. It felt very adrenaline was like pumping up, like it builds up, and that's because, and Joel mentioned this in his video, Ludwig Göransson is going off already. And me and my brother were talking about it because he was with me when we watched it today. And it's funny because he just won the Oscar for Oppenheimer, right? And then he's going to be nominated for Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they can. Now, I'm not saying we only heard a 2-minute snippet of what he's going to have in the Odyssey. Very good snippet. If he wins for that, I don't think he'll win this year for Sinners, even though maybe he should. It'd be kind of crazy if he went 3 years straight because I already believe he won one for Black Panther. So he has 2 already under his belt, which is insane.
Wait.
But
What are you saying? If he wins for Sinners, he won't win for the Odyssey?
yes. So I think I don't know. Well, I thought about just him winning back to back, right? And I don't know if they'll just give it to him. I think they might give it to Johnny Greenwood. Like me and my brother were talking about that for one battle after another. It would be crazy if he won a three-peat with with the score, but the guy's really good.
That's honestly why I kind of hate the Oscars, because it's like all these conversations break out that are true, and that's how they vote. But I'm like,
Yeah.
why does any of this matter? It's like, oh, this person should win it. Oh, they're gonna be great, but
Yep.
oh, this person hasn't won it in 40 years. I'm like, that's not what the competition should be. It should just be you're awarding a performance. Have either of you seen Marty Supreme though, or no?
Not yet.
Honestly, I think that score has a shot because it probably won't win,
Ooh.
but it is so insane. It's the same guy that did Uncut Gems. He's worked with the Safdies for a long time. I was not expecting the score of that movie to be insane, but no, Ludwig is honestly a perfect fit with Nolan. Like I was kind of heartbroken when it's like Hans Zimmer and Nolan were going their own way, but now I got like Hans doing the Dune movies. Like I listen to that soundtrack like regularly, like a weirdo. Like that was in my most played songs of the year. Like especially last year, 2024. Like 5 of my top 10 were like Dune soundtrack songs.
Can't really
I mean,
blame you.
he did F1 it was funny. I did not know that he did F1. And I was like, who's doing the score of this movie? I was like, no reason should it be like this good. And then I saw it at the end. I was like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, it also makes sense because he did the score of Top Gun Maverick too. So him and that director look like they have a good relationship that they'll continue.
I mean, yeah, Hans is really just, he's everywhere. And like any movie from the last 20 years, if you're listening to the score and you're like, who is this? But it's really good. There's like a decent chance he had a part in it.
I would say I actually have a booklet right here because I went to, not to flex, but I'm going to flex real quick. I went to see Hans Zimmer live. So I actually do have like a booklet and it says, these are all of his movies that he's done. That is a lot of movies. It's probably like
that is
200
a lot.
movies. I don't know.
Which I guess that was back cool to Ludwig quick. I was going to say, have you guys, either of you watched Community, that TV show, or no?
No.
I haven't, but I think I know what you're gonna say. But it's cool.
Yeah, I was just saying that's just his backstory and where he came from, like working on Community and him meeting like Donald Glover there, and then they've worked on like Donald Glover's albums as like Childish Gambino before, and now this guy's just making like Oscar-winning scores. I'm like, I don't know, you can be too good at your craft almost. It's like this guy is just everywhere and he's good in everything he does.
I feel like that's how him and possibly because I saw like them talking about that history of his. Did Donald Glover introduce him to Ryan Coogler? I think they went to college together.
There's
they were
something like that. I'm forgetting. Yeah, there is some overlap somewhere there. I don't remember the exact story, but pretty much everything stems from Community though. How everybody got connected.
Which is crazy, just how like connections like that happen. I was looking up today. He has scored every single Ryan Coogler movie besides, I believe, Fruitvale Station is the only one. But he did well, Creed 2 actually wasn't scored by him. He did the score for Creed 2, but that wasn't directed by Ryan Coogler. I don't believe.
And for the record, right now, looking at Gold Derby, it's Sinners is probably going to win.
Wow.
It's Sinners, then it's A Small Chance for One Battle, then Hamnet, then Frankenstein.
Hamnet's score is really good.
Yeah, Max Richter. Very beautiful. I just watched that again. I loved it so much. But Surratt is 7th. I like that score a good bit. I think that's a
score goes hard.
Yeah. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be Sinners right now.
It's going to be a big Sinners one battle year for sure. Like the amount of awards those two are going to take home, it seems like.
I think they'll give, like, Frankenstein will win some stuff, like costume design, makeup and hairstyling, production. Like, it'll be there in the technical stuff, I think. But I thought it was okay. I don't know.
No, people in Hollywood love that movie. Like, the amount of clips of different, like, actors and directors and stuff coming out, if they're asked about, like, oh, what's a movie from 2025 you like? It's like the Frankenstein praise is the craziest thing to me. And that's another one. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I just did a video going over the 15 highest rated movies on Letterboxd. I was like, oh, it's a good, not great movie. Comment on that video is like, oh, same guy that says Superman's the best movie of the year, which I didn't say in the video, hates Frankenstein, of course, which I didn't say in the video. I'm like, okay, that's just not what I said at all. I was like, it's a good 7-ish out of 10. I like a lot of it. Just not great. And nope, you hate it.
Social media is so entertaining sometimes, especially with stuff. Of course,
I think.
Of course, you said that.
I'll say one more quick thing about the Oscars. I think maybe some of the most exciting races are for screenplay, like best adapted screenplay, Hamnet, One Battle, Begonia, No Other Choice, and Train Dreams, and then original Sinners, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme. It was just an accident, and The Secret Agent. That's like, I think those are both really exciting races. I'm curious to see what wins. Um, that'll be fun.
Well, let's speak of something that might or might not be fun, depending on the fandom or how you feel about this franchise. What about Avengers Doomsday trailer? The little teaser we got. I obviously before everybody watched it, it's so funny because, like I said, I tried to go to a theater 40 minutes away, it didn't work out. Went to another one, even though the leaks came out, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. I wanted to see it for my own eyes, and I did about 5 or 6 hours ago. Joel, you said you got excited, didn't you? Seeing him on the screen.
I fully accept this is nostalgia bait. It is slop. It is all
Brain
of
is
these
fully
things.
rotted.
I don't care. It is Steve Rogers. And my problem is everybody's mad that they're like, oh my God, why are we doing this direct sequel to Endgame? This is so stupid. Nothing in the last, 6 years matters. Nobody liked 90% of the projects in the last 6 years. You can't blame Marvel for doing this. It's probably going to be better, even though it's lazy, to see another story with these characters. And I don't know, the Russo brothers are like the terrible directors that make good MCU movies. I feel like there has to be some reason that this is all going to make sense. If they do something super stupid where it's like, oh, he's going and putting the stones back, but Doom got mad about that or something. If it's that tied in directly to Endgame, that I'll be mad about. But I feel like we have to just wait and see it with our own two eyes. But I know all the complaints and they're all valid.
Yeah, I don't think you can really say you can't blame Marvel because Marvel is the one that's been cooking up the last 6 years of shit, right? And without a plan. So it's on
Well,
them
I
to
think,
figure it
yeah,
out in a
it's
way that's actually satisfying from like a storytelling perspective. And I think you can't just let them off the hook. I mean, I don't know. It's
not off the hook, but I just think I think they were building up to a plan and they were going to move on from King probably no matter what happened with Jonathan Majors. And that's why this is going back now because they weren't building up to Doom. And the only way to make this like a story that feels like there's any somehow connecting thread, which I don't know why every Avengers movie has to be like this big thing that's been built up for 20 years. Like that's not what we had with the first two Avengers movies anyways. Like they weren't
yeah.
built up like Thanos, but I feel like since they got rid of Kang, now they feel like this is their solution of making it still feel like, oh, it's connected because it's connected to Endgame now, if that's what they actually do.
Yeah,
Do
that
you
makes
do you
sense.
think they should have recast him, Joel, or what do you think should have happened?
I think what they should have done is had Kang as the villain of an Avengers movie that was like just Sam Wilson, Thor, whatever other like 5 to 6 characters as another smaller Avengers movie versus Kang. I don't think trying to make Kang the next like here's every hero in the Marvel universe against Kang is not a good matchup. Like the character was introduced too weirdly. Like everybody's like, oh, Thanos was built up, but you only saw him for a few little post-credit scenes, and obviously with the stones. Kang was fully in Quantumania. He was fully in Loki. I don't think it was ever going to work for him to be like he was never going to be the next Thanos. I think they should have done a smaller Avengers movies first, but now everything has to be Infinity War Endgame with every character ever
I think
created.
Quantumania also made him like a deeply unserious character. Like I think you removed any and all menacing aura from the character. Like he wasn't going to be um a Thanos. I don't know why they did that. That movie. There's a couple movies that I think like destroyed everything. I think like Love and Thunder was bad, but Quantumania and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, like what they did with Wanda, I think was just like I think that movie's terrible. But
I
Well,
said I
also
I
was
don't
have
know
you
looking
why
at
seen
it.
they.
like
I would say you're right though. Like I was just looking at it because there's so many movies that come out. I was like, is there a single movie that has come out since Endgame where it's like I'll give examples like Civil War or it's Winter Soldier, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Like everyone, the general consensus is that it's like a really good movie that everybody really likes, right? The only one I can think of is probably Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ones that are maybe close are like maybe Fantastic Four First Steps, but I did see nobody reported on it,
No,
but I
I'm
don't know
not.
if you guys saw that. See, I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but like the viewership of Fantastic Four's First Steps on Disney Plus was very low and lower than Captain America Brave New World. That's not good, and I'm surprised more people didn't.
Well, it
I'm sur-
also,
oh,
I did see
go ahead.
that. I talked about it in one of my YouTube videos. I
Okay.
think it's a slightly unfair because it did make like $100 million more at the box office than Thunderbolts and Captain America. So it's probably the same amount of people that watch both of them. Just
Gotcha.
slightly more people went to see Fantastic Four, but then it wasn't great, so it didn't have great legs or anything. But I was gonna say the writer of like Loki, he's worked on different Avengers movies, like Michael Waldron, I believe, talked about a scene that was gonna be in King Dynasty, and I think it would have been like early on as like a joke thing, but like the young Avengers, like Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, all them were gonna kill a King variant very easily. And then he was gonna pull like that version of King would have had like a letter on his back that's like, oh, that was just one of me or something. And I'm like, okay, King Dynasty was not gonna be a very good movie either. So like I feel like Doomsday is going to be better. Like that was going to probably be just not a good film. I feel like even though this is probably gonna be a botched version of Doctor Doom, it's so much easier to make a messy movie that's good because of Doom rather than a messy movie with Kang.
Also, Stone, to push back on what you said, we did get No Way Home. I think was like generally like it was made $2 billion, and people I think generally like even though there are some who say it's sort of the same kind of nostalgia-y, blah blah blah. Like people take that angle towards the movie. I don't think that at all. I think that's a pretty well-written movie. I think it knows what Garfield Spider-Man is. It knows what Toby Spider-Man is. I think Aunt May's death is a great moment. And I've made a video before. I think Defoe's Green Goblin in that movie is the best villain they've ever had in a movie in the MCU. It's the most effective. It's the best performance. It's the most personal. The cost is really high. Like it's great. I think it's really good stuff.
I will say one thing is I think that I don't know why, but my brain kind of detaches Spider-Man No Way Home from the rest of the stuff because it feels like at least obviously Sony partially owns it and they have that deal going on. It feels like Spider-Man, everyone cares about Spider-Man so much that Spider-Man, like we saw in No Way Home, can be like its own Avenger type movie. Like Spider-Man can exist by
It's a
itself and
brand.
make
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It can make billions of dollars without having to tie with anything happening in Doomsday. Like Tom Holland still isn't confirmed to be in Doomsday, I don't believe. Obviously, they're making the movie right beforehand. He probably will be. But I guess that's why my mind automatically detached Spider-Man No Way Home because I feel like Spider-Man's doing his own thing, which I'm happy about. Just leave him be. But everything else that probably could have been translated over to Doomsday that has come out since Endgame is either average. I will say I did like Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts is probably the best movie out of all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
like it.
Julia Dreyfus was just so bad in that movie. I'll never get over how bad she is.
What do you
And
think
She's
is the
not
best
and
one?
like a big part of it, really. Like I don't feel like she's
she
in
gets
it
a
enough
lot
to
of
like.
screen time.
I don't
Like,
know. I like that movie a lot. I don't know. It's probably one of
Do you
my favorite MCU movies since Endgame.
do you like Eternals better than Thunderbolts? I know
yeah.
you're a big Eternals guy. Okay, is
But
Eternals your
I'll
favorite movie that has
say,
come out since Endgame besides Spider-Man? Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Do you like Guardians?
yeah.
X-Nay on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Spider-Man. Is Eternals your favorite?
I mean, I think Eternals was like a 3.5, and I think Thunderbolts I like Thunderbolts. I gave it a 3. I thought it was like a good, solid movie. I just like it's such a serious movie, and I liked all the stuff they did with Sentry, and I liked all the stuff with mental health. Like I thought that was actually like well written, really nicely done. Florence Pugh was obviously a good actor. I don't need all the bullshit David Harbour. Red Guardian's a fucking joke. It's a stupid character. He's only there to like crack ridiculous jokes and to have one emotional scene when they want to pull at your heartstring. It's just like it's a serious movie with a lot of stupid shit and having to quip and having to be whatever it is that they are trying to be when they write that way. But like the core of the movie, I think is really good. I just don't know why it's like they get afraid to be serious. It's like they're self-aware that they're dressed up as superheroes and they have to be like, oh, isn't this silly? Like you don't have to do that. Just that's what
I
bothers
don't
me.
feel like Thunderbolts really does that at all, honestly. Like
There's
personally,
so
I feel
many
like there's so
quips,
many.
dude. A little
I
girl
mean, the
gets
first
like
half, there's
evaporated and
obviously
then there's a
jokes.
quip.
In which
Like
one?
Like the little girl gets like she's running away and she gets like
Yeah.
deleted, and like 2 seconds later there's a joke. It's just like I don't know. Shit like that bothers me, but
Can I tell you what the worst thing is probably about Chris Evans coming back as Steve Rogers, not Captain America? Very important that people know that. Steve Rogers is his career since Endgame has been kind of rough. He is, I guess, Defending Jacob. I did watch Defending Jacob, but that's an Apple TV series that has decent reviews. But you got Free Guy, Don't Look Up. Didn't realize he was in Don't Look Up. Lightyear, The Gray Man, Ghosted, Pain Hustlers, Deadpool and Wolverine, Red One, Honey Don't, and The Materialists.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
like
is he a very good actor? No.
Knives Out, same year as Endgame. That's the best performance that you've ever seen from Chris Evans. It's probably
I actually
Knives
don't
Out.
even mind him in Materialist, but I do not like that movie. I think he's actually pretty good in that film, but like
Yeah, I don't think
For
he's
what
giving
they
a bad
wrote for him,
performance,
yeah.
but the writing is fucking
Bad
terrible.
character.
yeah.
I also think
No,
I
that
think
whole
he's
movie is ridiculous.
yeah. I think Snowpiercer is probably his best performance, if I had to say. But I do like Knives Out.
All right, let's get into Fire and Ash. We've been talking about Marvel for a little bit. So, did
Yeah.
you guys see what the box office for Avatar, Fire and Ash? That's what everybody is curious about, because unlike Avatar: The Way of Water, Avatar, Fire and Ash did not have a long break in between the second and the third movie. Like, it's only been 3 years. Will people actually care about Avatar? They just care about waiting. So the numbers came in. It looks like Avatar: The Way of Water made $441.6 million worldwide its opening weekend. And this one came in at $345 million. So just $100 million less than Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, the interesting dilemma in this is that they have announced, or James Cameron does plan on making a fourth and a fifth Avatar movie. Whether we want that, whether this needs it, maybe we'll get into that later. But the problem is, he has said openly, if this is not financially successful, we will not make a fourth and fifth movie. Where do you think this movie needs to get box office wise to be financially successful? I know the rule of thumb is 2.5 times the budget. A lot of people don't understand that. As we know, it's like if the movie's $200 million in budget and it makes 210 and make a profit. No, that's not how it works. So by my calculations, I think that this movie had like a $500 million budget is what I've been able to find. So maybe like 1.2, $1.3 billion is break even, which is wild. But how much more do you guys think Disney would need than that in order to greenlit Avatar 4 for good?
Well, I saw an interesting point that was saying that like most of Disney's money they make off of Avatar is the Avatar movies, whereas like Marvel and everything, you sell a million toys and different things, merchandise. Same with like, Moana or something. They make billions of dollars off Lilo and Stitch every year. Avatar is really making its money at the box office. So I think it's probably going to crawl its way to like 1.8 somehow, because these movies just magically, I mean, I feel like it's slightly more competition. And again, the lower opening does hurt it. But I feel like if it crawls to like, I don't know, if it makes $1.5 billion, they're not going to not make another one with adding in like rental sales after and Disney Plus watches. And like, I think, yeah, I feel like I've heard someone say $1 billion was the break even for at least like Way of Water. So that's probably like somewhat in the range, but I don't know. I can't imagine they're not going to do it. I feel like James Cameron, that's like Starbucks being like, guys, if you don't buy a coffee every day for the next week, we're shutting down for good. Like, they want you to buy more coffees, obviously. He's like, go see my movie, go watch it so I make more money. Like, I don't know. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, guys, we're going to make 4 and 5 no matter what. No urgency. Don't go out and see this.
I mean, also Disney Disney's trying their best with the Avengers Doomsday trailers too, which I will say it's good for them. I know people have said they've seen the next one with Chris Hemsworth, but I don't think there's I haven't been on Twitter a whole lot today or yesterday, but as far as I know, I don't think like it's out there as much as
It's
Chris
only
Evans
the
was.
audio's out, I think. Well, I
Okay.
know.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm sure whenever the theater owners unlock it in the next 2 days, it will be all over the place again.
Which I'm curious, because I wonder how like movie theater memberships work. Because literally today, I am living proof that I purchased a ticket through my AMC A-list subscription, and I just went and watched a trailer for 2 movies and I left. So I'm curious how many Marvel fans will do that with this second and third and fourth. I guess it's still making money somehow for Disney, but I'm curious if they'll have just like a lot of people walking out. Like, how are people actually going to stay to watch 3.5 hours of Avatar? I don't see that happening.
I feel like it's more they know Avatar is going to make a lot of money, so they want to capture those people more than the other way around. Because I feel like the Marvel fans, if they care enough, can just find it online or something. Like,
Ooh,
I feel like they just know we're going to put our second biggest movie in front of what's going to be our biggest movie this year, just to capture more of the
Gotcha.
audience that way.
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean,
They're trying to get Marvel fans, they're trying to get Avatar fans, not Marvel fans. Interesting perspective. I like that.
I'm in the movie space and I avoid trailers like the life of me for movies I actually care about. So I didn't see the Doomsday trailer like that Chris Evans was coming back. And then I was forced to see it pretty much unless I walked out of the theater prior to this.
Oh, you stepped out. What do you think about that? You were away, helping your
I
kid.
had to walk away. First off, theater etiquette is down the drain because someone actually brought in a Bluetooth speaker and played that stupid song Lifestyle while the Odyssey trailer was going on. So that was fun. So I missed like 45 seconds of it before they got kicked out.
Freaked out. Holy shit.
Yep.
They got kicked out? They got kicked out?
Yeah.
Good. Jeez.
Yeah. They were like 8 seats to the left of me. So that was fun. I mean, Doomsday, whatever. I mean, throw your Hail Mary, I guess. Like, literally, like, the only way that works for me is if Steve Rogers comes back just to get killed off by Doom in the first 5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
I think that would be a great opening and, like, setting the tone.
Wouldn't that feel just gimmicky, too, though? Like,
a little bit.
Sorry. Like,
I mean,
it's just fucked, man. It's so fucked.
In my head, that's the only way that like this is justified. It's still gimmicky, like you said, but like at least it's not going to be a movie with just bringing back everyone.
Yeah, a lot of people in this movie. Anyways, speaking of a lot of movies, guys, I wanted to ask you. I put it in our outline for today's episode, for today's recording. Dan, what has your relationship been with the Avatar movies up to Fire and Ash? You have vouched for them. I think those are your words verbatim. Like, you defend these movies. Why?
I mean, I think they're special. I remember when the first one came out, I was, I guess, 16. Like, I went to the theater with my, saw it a couple times, saw it with my family, saw it with my friends, and like it was a huge deal in 2009. It was like a massive, massive kind of cultural moment, and it was something people really hadn't seen before in terms of what they were doing with, the VFX and just the level of the work that went into making this, this happen. And it obviously wasn't the most groundbreaking story ever told, in terms of like the actual story, but it still was impressive. And I think, I don't know if the first movie has aged the best, but I think Way of Water kind of made the first movie a little better. I think Way of Water is really, really good. I think Way of Water is kind of aware of some of the problems of the first movie and sort of fixes them and improves on a lot of things. And I loved like how far it pushed everything forward with how much it added in terms of the world, and the characters. I think, all the characters became much more like actual characters and less like stick figures. And I think it was willing to take some chances with those characters and do some interesting things, which I don't think is really as true in this movie. But I really like the first two. I think they kind of, it's funny watching this third movie. I understand more some of the criticisms I've heard over the years of the first two. I think I felt in this movie more so how many others have felt before, but my feeling about like Way of Water has not changed at all. I do think it's very good. So, um, yeah, I still like Way of Water a lot. I'm a little less high on the original, but I enjoy the franchise in general.
So what about you, Connor? I know we had talked about it before we jumped on, but what do you think about these movies?
I'm not the biggest fan of the first two. I do think Way of Water is better, Stone.
I know that's a hot take. It's a hot take with everyone. I think, Joel, do you think that the first one's better than the second one?
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3.
My guy. Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, we were going to do rankings at the end of this. Oh, I love that because I get shit for that. but it's all right. We'll talk about that in a second. Connor, keep going. Anyways,
But
I just wanted some
yeah.
justification there.
But 2009 was still like after my mom was recovering from cancer and everything, so movies were always our go-to thing. So, I mean, I remember seeing it and like being in awe. I was what 11 when that first one came out. And then, but like, I never felt the need to go revisit it. I didn't revisit it again until last week.
Damn.
But I think that speaks to also the credibility or like how, long these movies can stick with you, because I didn't feel the need to rewatch it because I remembered so much about it and what had happened. And it's the same thing this week. I told Stone and prior to getting on that I only got through about halfway of Way of Water rewatch. And then couldn't finish it before seeing the new one or this episode. But I mean, I still remember almost all of it, I feel like. And that was that last year or 2 years ago now?
3 years. Came out in 2022, the end of 2022, I believe.
All right.
Yeah.
3 years ago. But I still feel like I remember a majority of it. And even watching the first half, I remember a lot of it. I remember my biggest issue, though, being with number 2, that I just didn't feel anything when his son died. Like, I just didn't care.
Spoiler.
And I feel like that was a big issue, and I know that was a lot of people's complaints as well, that they put so much effort into the world building that you just don't care enough about the characters. I don't know. Do you guys feel that way?
That's my feeling kind of towards this. Like,
No.
it's not that it's directly like, oh, they put effort into, like, I think what they're doing with the characters is fine. For me, I just don't connect to most of these characters. Like Jake Sully, I do not care about whatsoever. I do not think he's an interesting character. And that's just kind of how I feel about most of them, honestly. I'm like, they're fine, they're chill, but they're not people I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go see these people again.
What about the character don't you like? Like, how do you think he could be improved?
I don't know. I feel like lame's the wrong word, but like, I just don't feel like he's that interesting of a character with how much of the story obviously relies on him coming into this planet. I just feel like maybe it's the performance, maybe it's something. I feel like I just don't find it that fascinating of watching the story of this guy coming to Pandora, becoming this huge prominent figure. I'm just like, okay, this is cool. Again, I'm not like he's terrible or anything. I don't know why he just does not click for me.
That's understandable. In my opinion, he kind of just feels like a military grunt. And even in the second movie, he's like, "Come on, like shape up." Like, I mean, that is his character. That is his background. I wish we got more characterization, like from his past, like with his brother dying, and how does that affect him? Stuff like that. I wish that we could see that, actual Jake Sully in his new avatar body. And I feel like it's just who he is on Pandora. Like he is not that interesting. I wish we did learn more about his past. It's funny when I was editing my video, I'd never seen this, but I was watching a certain cut of Avatar, and there's like scenes that didn't make the final cut, and I didn't realize that. And I didn't actually watch them because I was just editing it, but I had the entire movie in front of me, and I was like looking for clips, and I saw the beginning. There's like sequences that take place on Earth, and I need to go back and watch those because I've never seen those sequences. Like he got beat up in like an alley and all of this stuff, and I'm like, I want more of that. Maybe that should have been included, but then the movie would have been 3 hours long. But I mean, hey, all these movies are almost 3 hours long, or 2 of them are over, 1 of them is under.
No, only thing I wanted to say on what you just said, Stone, is out of all the O3 grunts or O3 Marines that I've met, which O3 is the beginning of every infantry MOS code. So it's like 0311, 0365, whatever. They all kind of act like Jake Sully. So, I mean,
like, would you want to follow do you think a person like that is interesting enough to follow them for 3 movies?
I think you mean 4 or 5 movies, and no, I don't. I think there's a way to maybe do it, but like, I don't think it's this story. I don't think it's this world.
Yeah,
A lot of what you're saying is kind of why I think the second movie is much better, because the story is much less about Jake. Like the story, I think, with him becoming a father, like the first movie is a straight up white savior movie, which is why it's so fucking boring in a lot of ways. And I think like the whole his essential motivation is romance. And I think like that with a boring character, that's oftentimes a boring motivation. Um, I think everything about their kind of development as a couple feels like you've seen it before. But I think with Way of Water, like you realize he's not a savior, he's actually endangering everyone around him. And just by going to the I'm gonna forget the name of the water tribe,
Metcayena, I think.
yeah, Metacaina. Just by being there, like he brings, a lot of stress to them and danger. Um, his kids are endangered, and I think like the relationship between him and his sons, I think is interesting. And I think Loak is the best character in the new movie, and I think like that stuff's getting stronger and making more sense. And I think people criticize the dynamic between Jake and Loak, but I think it actually makes a lot of sense. And I think Jake gets more interesting as a father and kind of has different dynamics with each kid, including Spider, which we see more of. So I think like he is getting more interesting to me, and I think like through his family, um, is kind of how that occurs.
I agree with that. I think that's a valid point. I will say one thing about, I don't want to get into spoilers just yet about my thoughts, but a big issue I have with the second movie, and Dan knows this, like Joel, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've heard episodes of our podcast where I've talked about this. I have spoken so much. I had like an argument with the escape pod guys about my frustrations with Avatar: The Way of Water and why I think the first one is better. Like you should go check that out because now
Yeah, I
you're in
saw
the
that
same,
episode
yeah, you're in the
because I
same
was
boat as
name
me.
dropped in, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
As I was listening, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And I think that I love these movies. I really do. Dan texted me after his thoughts of the first movie, or this movie, the new movie that just came out in theaters, and he was like frustrated because he's like, I enjoy my time, but there's issues, and that's how I have felt with these last two movies, especially the second one. I love what is on the screen. I do think even in 2009, 2022, and now 2025, still there are moments in Fire and Ash where I'm astonished by what I'm witnessing, especially the action scenes. But I think the scripts in these last two movies are so disjointed, especially in the second movie. I like what they're doing, but nothing feels truly fleshed out. Like you're almost there. Like I see what you're trying to do, but then it's just abandoned. I feel like that happens a lot with the second movie. So I really do like these movies. The idea of these movies as a whole, I just wish the story matched what I think their potential is, if that makes sense.
Well, I also feel like because Way of Water and Fire and Ash were the ones that were one movie when he was originally writing it, right? Because now
Which
I
would have
also
been
just saw,
wild.
well, now I just also saw another clip of him talking, James Cameron talking about like even after that was split and he was working on Way of Water, he's like, oh yeah, some things that I cut from that movie directly got moved into Fire and Ash after they were already separate, and he was like, I'm making two different movies. And I feel like that's kind of where some of the problems start coming in. I feel like he has so much he wants to tackle, and it's clear like he has a big vision, but I just feel like it was not executed in the amount of time. Because I'm sorry, 6 hours of content is way more than enough time to tell a very complicated story if you want. And that's not what the Avatar movies are anyways, but I feel like he's making it complicated by just like rehashing certain things, certain characters magically walking off screen, I guess, and disappearing, and like stuff just happening where I'm like, did you even think this through? Or are you just, maybe he's writing it like it's a TV show and like it's just going to keep continuing in 4 and 5, and it's just going to kind of have
It's
like
funny you said
similar
that because I
things.
think Avatar would be a great TV show. I think this could be like 10 to 15 seasons of television. I think that would be super compelling and really allow you to develop all the characters carefully. But there's so much, but like they shot 2 and 3 at the same time, and like you just said, Joel, like you can tell it's sort of the same story. There are scenes that are copy and paste. There are there's concepts here that are the exact same. You're watching the same moment, and I'm not even like, I'm not being hyperbolic. Like it's one to one multiple times, um, which is frustrating. Especially like I said, because I love Way of Water. So, Fire and Ash is a weird movie, I think.
All right, let's get into it. All right, brief synopsis. It's like one sentence. The conflict on Pandora escalates as Jake and Natiri's family encounter a new aggressive Navi tribe. Joel, Vets Movies, pardon me, the Vets Movies. You are a guest on today's podcast. Share your spoiler-free thoughts real quick with Fire and Ash, if you.
Spoiler free.
Yeah, we'll keep it
So, yeah,
spoiler-free
I
just
think-
for now.
Like I said, I feel like it starts off strong. I feel like the way we get reintroduced, everything's fine. The action sequences are great. It looks incredible. I already wasn't really big fans or connected to these characters before. And I feel like now I'm like, okay, I'm watching the same things that didn't work for me. But now I feel like I've already seen it before. And now it's just like he said, there's literally scenes that are straight up like recreations. And I feel like just where things end in this movie, I did not feel like I went on some big journey or anything. I feel like I'm just like almost where I started with like how I feel about this thing. I'm like, no change, no bold direction, not a shocking decision was made. Everything that's like, it's just the safest thing possible. I feel like I'm harder on these movies than everyone. Like I said, I admit they look incredible. I admire the technology and that he obviously has a huge vision here, but it is just, I don't know. I feel like it's too safe. It's just big and not necessarily bold. So that's my very not nice thoughts.
All right.
Other thing
Which
is
is why
that
I will
that's-
not be entering the avatar contest on TikTok because I know
Same.
the
yeah.
second they do 1 second of research, I'm cooked if they look at my account. So not doing that.
I was gonna say just really quickly, everyone keeps saying how great this movie looks. Does it? Like, did you guys watch it in the IMAX 3D like HFR?
I didn't do 3D.
Yeah.
Mine was just regular IMAX.
Okay. I saw this in 3D. Stone, did you have the same experience that I'm talking about here?
Well,
With because the frame rate is going
frame
back and
rate's
forth
rough.
between 48 and 24.
That's rough.
It looks like a PlayStation game for large periods of time, and like it looks really bad. And it was like an active choice when there's any type of action or like a lot of movement, the frame rate it's using high frame rate, so it's going to 48, then it's back to 20. But there's scenes where it's like literally switching back and forth. And it's like watching Transformers Dark of the Moon, whatever, when the fucking aspect ratio it's like that distracting.
Damn.
is it just in 3D that happened? Is that why you're?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I will. I will
Okay.
be something that might be interesting for you though. Is obviously, I mean, we're a little bit more critical on films, and we look at films a different way. And I don't know if you even knew about the high frame rate stuff beforehand. I did, but then I did obviously notice it. I don't know if you knew about it beforehand, and then you watched the movie, or if you.
Well, it was
just
in Way of
figured it-
Water too, but I think Way of Water looks better.
My wife didn't notice it at all. So that's what I'm saying. Is like maybe other people will not notice it, but I mean, this is our opinion. We can't like help but talk about that. But I mean, there might be a lot of people out there who actually didn't even notice that was happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some moments that look really odd, and like when people are moving around and like it's distracting. And like rewatching Way of Water, I didn't really notice it. I think they used it a lot underwater in Way of Water and also here, which works. It's easier. It's easier to tell. Easier not to tell with the smoothness. But it's definitely strange.
Well, I
Yeah,
feel
when
like
it
you
came
I
to
kind of
can't
wish I watched
switch.
it in regular. Yeah.
Like switching between frame rates, you're going to notice that jump. I feel like in real time. Like
Yeah.
if you're someone that at least is somewhat invested in movies or video at any level, which, like you said, probably a lot of people aren't. A lot of people watch TV with like the motion smoothing and stuff on and never realize that like, I guess it's not
Gross.
a problem for them.
I think James Cameron, like I applaud that he wants to do that. And I think he's trying in his mind to like make it look as good as possible. But like to me, it's just it was a bit distracting. But my screening just that's the way it was. So
Yeah, when I was talking about the visuals, I more so meant like the CGI and the motion capture. Like I think that looks really good at times, especially like the end fight sequence on the rocks in the air. I was like, it's a really great idea, but visually it looked stunning when the frame rate was behaving.
yeah.
Do you want to share more of your thoughts, the spoiler free?
Me?
Yeah.
I was like, thought I had my spiel here.
Joel, you're up again, dude.
Hate on
redo it.
Avatar even more.
Yeah, we'll do a retake real quick.
Yeah, spoiler free. I think this movie has really big problems, and like I said earlier, I just think like um I kind of said in my review on TikTok, like I think this movie kind of is regressive in a way for Avatar. I think with the um Varang's like tribe, the Ash people, I think they feel um so stereotypical, so like boilerplate, just barbarians. They're like, we like fire and guns and we want to kill. It's just like, have we not been spending what is it, 16 years learning about these people and learning that the Na'vi are like sentient, intelligent beings that shouldn't be killed and have their resources stolen? And now it's like you're giving us the exact representation of the Na'vi that like the Marines would maybe assume, and that they would, you know what I mean? It feels weird. And I honestly said they like barely feel sentient, like they barely feel able to like communicate outside of Varang. And even she is like just really simplistic and like not fleshed out, and you get a little bit of the dynamic or the why behind them in terms of like their relationship with Awa like deteriorating and them feeling like she didn't look out for them. But they leave it there. It's like one scene that I feel like James Cameron was like, all right, here's the one scene to say why, and then we're not going to do anything else with that. And there were so many other interesting things to do um, with that in comparison to the other two tribes. Um, in comparison to individual characters like Kiri and Varang interacting could have been really interesting. Um, I just feel like it left so much meat on the bone, and at the same time, it's 3 hours and 20 minutes, and it's like, where is this runtime going? Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm seeing scenes that I already saw in Way of Water. I'm seeing a rerun, you know, Attack of the Whales rerun, like the same whale storyline again. And like, I love the whales, the Tokun, whatever, but like, you're doing stuff here that you already did, and you're refusing to do anything interesting with the story or characters or take any chances, like Joel said, because you want to like run back the greatest hits of Way of Water. And like all these things, I think just make the movie really frustrating. And Joel, like you said, I think when the movie ended, I looked at my buddy and I was like, what changed here? Like where are we that's different from the start of the movie 3 hours and 20 minutes ago? Like, and that's
There's a
not a
new
way you should
tribe.
be feeling. Yeah, barely. I mean, so yeah, I don't think it's very good. But like at the same time, I sit there watching it, and I'm like, this
Pretty
is
cool.
cool. Like there's some wind people, there's the new squid animals, there's the flying wind animals. Like stuff is fun to look at, and I enjoy being in the world. And there are things that I like that we'll talk about, but overall I'm just like, this is so safe. And I feel like the stuff you were talking about, Stone, of how much does this need to make? You know, thinking forward. I want to make four, so let's make this as palatable as possible to as many people as
Mm.
possible to not, not ruffle feathers. Because audiences don't, a lot of people don't like to feel anything. They don't want to feel sad. They don't want to feel angry. They don't want to be challenged. They just want to sit there and go, it's Avatar. Okay, cool. And then leave the theater and never think about it again. So, like, that's kind of what this is to me, um, which is a shame.
How do you feel about the fact that Varang's like already confirmed for Avatar 5? Like, because then they can dive more into
Not good.
the story that you
I mean,
said
and
they just left
honestly,
on the table. Like, maybe she can have a
It's
reconnection with Awa.
it feels like
maybe.
everybody. I mean, they're asking a lot out of us because if like obviously I have said this, it feels like almost every single character, in my opinion, is underbaked. Like you want to see a certain development in them. Like you're expecting something to happen, whether it's Awa, which is a character, whether it's Varang, whether it's Kiri, whether it's Loak. You're expecting something to happen to move this character forward. And I think rather than doing it in one singular film, they're like, we'll give you a little nugget. Like something will happen with this character in this movie, but we're going to do that in every single film. And you'll finally maybe get the payoff in Avatar 5, 6 years down the road. So it's hard to invest in these characters. There's like 12 or 13, I feel like, characters in this movie. There's so many. I guess I'll just get in my thoughts, but it's like that's I think that's the frustration, Connor.
I will say I don't want to say like I do think there's some good character development in this movie. There's some of the best character development in the entire franchise in this movie. There is some of it there, but like then there's a lot of time that's just doing nothing. But some good stuff does happen with a few characters in the course of the time here.
I'll say it real quick because that's like my first positive. I do agree. I think Loak and Jake's relationship gets a hell of a lot better. One of my biggest frustrations with the second movie was that I thought Jake was a terrible father. And maybe I'm dumb, and that was the point, because Dana said, yeah, he just got all these people fucking killed because he went to their clan and then all the humans follow them. But I like that in this movie that is talked about. The consequences of them going to the Mech Hyena clan in the second movie, and the actions that transpired and the death that transpired because of them moving is dealt with. And I really liked Loak and Jake's discussion of those topics. I do like the idea of putting Quaritch with Varang. I like that dynamic a lot. I thought their scenes together, their introduction to one another when you do get around the Ash people's area of Pandora was very interesting. I'll say it down here. I like that James Cameron gets a little bit of freaky in this movie. There's two sequences where he gets freaky, I would say. This really isn't really freaky, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. But that first interaction between the two of them, visually, something happens with Quaritch. And I was like, this is weird for Avatar. Like, this is visually something different. And I kind of like it. It's kind of goofy. And then the second thing was Kiri does something. She connects with Awa in a certain way about a third into this movie, and she's making some really strange sounds. And it goes on for about a minute or two. And that was like, James Cameron, I don't know what the direction was here for Sigourney Weaver, but it's a little bit interesting. Anyways, I thought the fight sequences were, besides the frame rate, I thought the fight sequences, primarily the one with the Wind Traders and the one at the very end of the movie, were very good. I was very much invested, even though the payoff at the very end was very disappointing. I do like fucking Payakan and the Tolkun. I like those guys. They're not around a whole lot, but when the whales show up, I'm like, oh yeah, I like the whales. I like them whenever they emerge out of the water and like they got nose rings or something. I'm like, that's cool. Who put that there? Did they put that there with their flippers? Like, did the Mech Hyena do that? That's
Pycon
cool
is like the John Brown of this world. He's just ready to fucking ride at any moment. Like, he's like, I need to kill sky people. Love that guy.
I also do like seeing the human camp. I don't know if it was necessary in this movie, because it feels like that just feels like another plot point that really didn't go anywhere. Like, did the characters change a whole lot from when they got to the human camp to when they left the human camp? I don't know, but I do like seeing it. Negatives. I already said a huge negative of mine. I think every single character, maybe besides Loak and Jake, is very much underdeveloped. And we'll go into that with spoilers. But I think Awa, big problem with Awa in this movie. I don't like Awa.
What about Quaritch? It's a good amount of development, I would say.
I like Quaritch. I don't like the end of Quaritch. Oh, yes, I like Quaritch, but they do stupid things with his character. We will talk about that. I think I've sent you text messages about that. Kiri, Varang, and Awa, and Atiri, and Spider. Spider's a big problem. And I like that a lot of people have acknowledged this. I did not like Spider in the first movie. And I think this movie doesn't necessarily... Is there a main character? Who is the main character of this movie? Who? Because
it's Spider.
Is it Spider?
The plot is revolving around Spider. Spider's driving the plot forward.
So here's the thing. Would you say that Jake is the main character of the first and second movie?
Yes.
So I find it very confusing that if Spider, the end of conclusion of this movie, is that Spider is the main character of Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is cool. That's James Cameron's decision. Why then is Loak narrating? I thought that maybe this would be the story of, this is the narration of the main character's story of this
Well,
chapter of Avatar.
I
It
don't know,
makes
isn't
sense
James
for like what
Cameron
he's
like
saying, but
he's switching around the narration though, right? Isn't it Sigourney Weaver's doing 4, she said, I thought.
yeah,
And
she
then
found
she's
that out
known
like
that for
12
like,
years
yeah,
ago.
forever already. So I don't think he has like, he clearly has a plan for who's doing what when, but I don't think it's like, oh yeah, just because they're talking to the main character. Like,
Well, I got disappointed because I like Loak. I don't like Spider, so I was expecting more of Loak, and I do think he's like the most interesting character of all the kids. Speaking of which, Dan knows this. He sent me a meme about it. I absolutely, with every fiber in my being, hate how the children talk in these movies. It makes no sense. I don't understand. I cannot imagine James Cameron sitting down and writing this, or whoever wrote this, to be like, we want these kids to say the word bro every single sentence they say bro. It was really
Bro.
bad in The Way of Water.
it's like my Stranger Things dialogue video. It's like, I don't
Sigourney
care if it's
Weaver,
intentionally bad. It's bad.
they're not on Earth. That is the problem. And I'm not trying to be a cinema sins here. They are on Pandora. They have no other human children to talk to besides intelligent, very connected with nature, very high-minded Na'vi kids. So why do they sound like they're from some random high school in America? It really bothers me. I think that is a lot of
But see-
ad-libbing from the child actors possibly. It's like, just do what you would normally do, like how you would normally talk in person, if that makes sense.
Wouldn't they learn how they had to learn how to speak English though? I feel like maybe they absorbed some like Earth media, like brain rot or something, and just like that's how they learned how to talk. Or
It's like, I don't know why, but it reminded me of BTS. BTS like learned English because they were watching Friends. There's like a scene of them on Pandora just like watching Friends and like learning how to talk.
yeah, I feel like there's a possible explanation there, but it is ridiculous. In Way of Water, it gets crazy. But
Jack Champion is not a good actor, and I want to say it is because
Gotta defend the
I know
boy.
you like Spider. It is bad. He has very, very important emotional moments in this movie.
is it the writing though?
I don't know, and I want to know. I really want to know, is Jack
think it
Champion
is.
bad? He's the only one who's not blue. So maybe if he was motion captured and he was
I do feel like
Na'vi,
that throws it off a little bit. Like, I feel like honestly, the things with people that are humans in this movie, which I'm stealing from someone else, so I'll say this, kind of feels like it's a B movie compared to everything else. Like the human stuff of like the actual human beings on Pandora, it does not work. I feel like, I don't know why. Every time there is
A lot of
a
them are bad
non-blue
actors.
person. Well, yeah.
well, they're also
That's it.
boring too. They're boring because it's the same thing over and over again. It's just like, we want to get this item and we're going to kill everyone. It's like, can't you just be a little bit more interesting than that? And then the one interesting human that's part of the camp, who I think it's really idiotic how he has a character change and he becomes a better person. I'm like, did you not fucking know what the job was before you signed up? Why are you freaking out now? Anyways, they totally abandoned that character. Character abandonment is such an issue that I have in
He
these
just
movies,
runs
and
away.
Dan knows that. He literally, you never see him again. What happened to that character?
Okay,
He is-
so can we talk about that scene? Because that scene commits the most egregious, heinous sin that this movie commits.
I think we
You
should
know what I'm
wait
gonna
before.
say?
Hold on.
Okay.
Connor, give your thoughts.
No, I'm ready to jump into spoilers. So Dan, go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So in the scene we're talking about, it's when they're all at the human compound, which is like the main base. There's this whole fucking cockamamie scheme of like Natiri's flying in on the pterodactyl, and the rebel guy is there helping them from the inside.
Pterodactyl.
And then
Ekron.
like okay, thank you.
I know my Navi shit.
Spider is there, Jake is there. So Spider is protecting Jake with he's like body blocking for Jake so he won't get shot. And then what I thought was going to happen, which would have been so interesting, is the woman who's in charge tells them to just shoot Jake anyway, and then Quaritch and the Ash people can start killing humans, and there's his turn. And that doesn't mean he has to align himself with the other Na'vi, but he can then be a third faction. Like, that's interesting. Why not do that? But instead, what happens is they kill like one ship, and then they're all on a bird sitting there. There's still a full-on manhunt for them. They're in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a base. Then it cuts, and they're just gone.
It's
And they're
bad
just
editing.
fine. And it's like that is, you can't do that as a screenwriter. Like that's the one thing that like you just can't You can't do that. And everyone's just like, how did you get away from that situation where there was no escape? And then Quaritch and his people are just grounded, and then they just leave anyway. So it's just like this is all so badly written. But that scene to me, like I looked at my buddy, we did like a double take, and I was like, how did they get away? I don't know if that bothered anybody else, but
No, that was like the first note I wrote down in this movie. I usually don't pull up my phone in theaters, but luckily there was no one around me and I was in the back row, so I felt fine about it. And I wrote that down. I was like, what, was getting to killing Spider that important?
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's very poor editing because the thing is you are assuming because you're cutting back and forth between the woman that is in charge, between Spider and Jake, also Neytiri a little bit because she comes in and saves the day, and then
and
Quaritch.
Quaritch, yeah.
I think you're assuming how big is this base, and I think you're assuming that Quaritch is like right there because we're cutting to Quaritch a lot, and then they're just
They're
gone.
still being
You're like,
chased actively.
right. Like, where was Quaritch that entire time? Why is he just chilling? Doesn't he want to help Spider at all? He's just kind of forgotten about. Like, I hate the character. Like, it doesn't make sense where characters leave and they come back. And like I said, the guy, obviously he'll probably be in the 4th and 5th movie for some reason, but the guy who helps them, who is a major part of this movie for doing that, is just never seen from again. And I know that's like, how do you show a guy who's still like, what happened to him? Did he get arrested? I guess we'll see that in the 4th movie, but
I feel like
Just
again
leave it
that's the
at
problem
abandoned.
with these all being like. Has he already written for? I don't know if he's ever said this before. I feel like he has like 4 written, right? Like,
they have filmed
even
part
5,
of 4.
like-
They have filmed
like-
part of it.
obviously you want to know where your story is going, but I feel like if you have all the movies planned out like this, it's not going to be clear to the audience for some of these things if some of these things are going to be resolved in a sequel. Like I feel like he's almost missing the fact that like he has the full picture, and it's not going to be satisfying to see like multiple characters like running off into the sunset in this movie pretty much. Like I don't know, he's too almost planned out ahead, I feel like. And it might be a gamble depending on, like we said, how this one does, if people care anymore.
I kind
I
of want to
also
push
think-
back, like I'm push that back a little bit because I feel like the way that this wraps up, he kind of does conclude it a little bit. Like I think there is a sense of like, I kind of did wrap up this story if we never get another one because the ending of the first and the second movie are the exact
Where
same.
the
But like,
fuck's
Toby,
Lorraine?
trust me. I texted you that, Dan. I
How's it
want to
wrapped
know
up?
where she's at because it feels like because you have this big like Avengers Endgame moment where they all like fucking connect with AWA and you see all of the past people who have died. You see Sigourney Weaver in like her 3rd appearance in this entire movie or this one movie. And it's like it feels like a conclude like there's characters from the second movie, characters are from the first movie, like everyone is there. So it does feel like this is the end of the story. That's how I got that. Like I said, the first and the second movie conclude just with focusing on Jake's face. And then this one's just like kumbaya, and then it like zooms out and there's Pandora. It does feel like the end of Avatar at the end of this movie, even though he says 4 and 5 are still coming.
I mean, I feel like you're making a movie. Like he is making different movies. Like there is obviously going to be a definitive ending. It's not like the ending of Wicked Part 1 and it's like, we'll see you next time, guys. Like he obviously is making complete stories. But like even like because I love to glaze Dune and I have to bring it up when it's Avatar talk because they're similar-ish. I'm like, Dune Part 1 and 2 are from one book. Dune Part 1 is a complete movie on its own. Like, you don't get the full story, but you can end it where Dune Part 1 ends and be like, okay, I'm good. I feel like still with this movie, like you said, like Varang is like the main villain of this movie. She's all over all the marketing, entire trailer on her own. And it's just like, I needed more with that if that's how you're ending this.
They should have
There's
just
al-
ended
there's
it
also-
with Barang will return.
True. There's also something deeply unserious if this is the end about giving Quaritch an off-screen death to fall damage. You cannot do that. Like when you don't show a character die on screen, I'm assuming he's alive. That's going to be my
100%.
assumption.
Which
So-
might be a hot take, but I'm kind of okay to move past Quaritch. Like he's
No, I don't think
great,
it's that. Yeah.
but
So tired of the repetitive villain.
yeah,
Dude, focus
you
on
can't do
Varang,
the
that'd be
same
sick.
thing.
Yeah,
you
but
need to move
Varang,
on.
I the first thing I
This is
texted
such
Dan,
a
I think after
stupid
this
death,
movie,
though.
because a big problem with mine, the guys know this, and you probably know this from my recording with the Escape Pod, is that the Mekayina tribe is helping out the Sully family at the end of the second movie. And And all of a sudden, at this end of the second movie, all those guys are drowning. And where did the Met Cayena go? They're just gone. I was like, they had a whole posse there, and then they're just gone. The same thing frustratingly happens in this movie with Varang. And I didn't realize that that was the last we were going to see of the. I couldn't remember what was the last time I saw her. And it's when Kiri connects her, like, it's like you know what it reminded me of? Like when the Yautjas have that little gun on their shoulder. She has like her hair, and it's like, I'm gonna get you with my little hair, my little tentacles here on my hair. And then Varang runs away. And that's the last time I didn't realize that was gonna be the end of that character's story for this movie. I'm like, what isn't Quaritch gonna be like, where's my backup? Yo, where's my girl at? Like, does he care about it? Like, why isn't he searching for Varang? Why, like, well, that's such a disappointing ending.
Did he really care about her, or was she just like a means to his end, basically?
She's sexy. I mean, I like her.
That's a separate issue. Yeah.
She's hot as hell, dude. Yeah.
Man,
you can blow smoke up. All right. She can blow up smoke up my nose any day. I'll tell you that.
10-foot tall blue person, man.
Now Dan's gonna get called a racist in the comments again.
Also, speaking of the escape pod, dude, we're headed towards that territory real fast.
She's sexy. It's hard. Like, she's hot. I'm sorry.
Are you afraid of, your girl being taller than you, Dan? Is that what this is?
I'm afraid of any 10-foot tall person, any 10-foot tall entity. I'm afraid of you. Yes, 100%. Also, she was in Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, she was Robb Stark's wife.
Yeah.
Talisa, yeah.
Never seen
I think she gave a really good performance. I think she did a good job. I just don't think she's given that much to do. Like,
I'm gonna test you guys here. Ready? Don't look at your computer for this, Dan. A big complaint that people have had about these movies is that they don't know the characters' names. And I think that has always been super silly complaint until now. I'm like, that is foolish. Like, obviously, Neytiri, Jake, Kiri, like even like Took, like I know that kid's name. I know Quaritch.
Loak.
Hold on, I'm getting to it. In the second movie, their son dies. I even know his name. Natayam, I believe is his name. Can you guys tell me the name of Kate Winslet's character that dies in this movie that I am supposed to care about because she's pregnant?
Renal?
There's no way. Is that the character's name? I don't even know.
Am I allowed to look now?
I guess so.
I don't have a guess.
I have no idea.
So
But
I'm
to
gonna
be
go
fair,
with
I'm
Dan.
like, I am that person where I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not learning their names for half
Is it
the
really?
thing.
Shit, damn.
Let me say Bernal, and then I'm just gonna
Damn it,
edit
he's
Dan
right.
out and put me in there.
He's right. I hate you sometimes, but still, you get my point though. Like, I feel like, damn it, Dan. Okay, two of them did it. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't.
No, you're right. Yes, 100%.
I also don't know Cliff Curtis's name, like her husband. What's Tonowari? Yeah. So that's like the emotional. I think we only feel for her and like are emotional that she's dying because she's pregnant, and I think that's kind of a cop out. I don't really feel a connection between her and Neytiri. Both in the second and third movie, I love Neytiri. When it comes to the reason, like, do you feel anything for these characters? The reason why I feel anything for Natayam dying in the second movie is because of Zoe Saldana's performance. Like, she blends so well into this character. Like, I think I believe that Neytiri is a walking alien on another planet. Like, I love that performance. It's probably my favorite motion capture performance.
Yeah, I think with Natayam, they did a good job of making you see how much Jake loved him. And like seeing that also I think he had a strong dynamic, like he had a really good friendship with Loak. So I think that death worked, and I think that death is one of the reasons I like the movie, because it's something that's feels real and then drives the plot forward in a pretty big way. So
did you feel the emotionality when it came to Renault?
A little bit. I thought it was sad. I think they did a little bit of the stuff between Neytiri and her, but not enough, like to kind of drive it home. But the baby was cute. I mean,
you know what's wild to me when it comes to Neytiri? Like I said, I just focus on Neytiri so much. I love Neytiri. It sucks that she's like injured, and then like Jake doesn't worry about her as much as I thought he would. She's just gone for like an hour of this movie.
She almost dies.
Yeah. I'm like, shouldn't you be like, where's my wife at? He just like comes across to her. He's like, oh, I'm glad you're okay. There's a very, very interesting conversation in this movie between Jake and Neytiri.
Yeah.
Where he like baits her into saying, like, I hate that my kids are kind of half human. And she says it. if I understood the movie correctly, if I was listening correctly, she says, yes, that is a reason. Like, I can't help but feel that way. And she runs off. And then Jake goes and like apologizes to her for like baiting her into saying that. And then it's never acknowledged again. I'm like,
because that's something
talk about that
interesting
more.
to deal with in these movies. But it's like, no, we're going to abandon it. We're going to bring it up. I feel like that's what this movie is doing. It's like, here's something that could be
This
interesting.
would be cool.
Well, let's not explore. Even that's how I feel about Varang's character, honestly. Like, this whole other tribe and her could be really interesting. We're not going to get into any of it or make them actually like real characters or anything. We're just going to like touch on things that you can point to and be like, oh, hey, this movie is doing something. But then, like I said, by the end of the film, none of these things that come up, like, I'm sure she's going to come back to those feelings in Avatar 4, but I don't care. You started it here. Like, I don't know. I feel like it is just the safe cop out because it's almost like playing with people. I feel like because it's like the people that are talking about Hamnet being emotionally manipulative, which is a crazy take, even though like I didn't connect with the movie as much as like Dan, I think, but like that's a crazy take. I almost feel like James Cameron's doing that in this movie where he's like manipulating you into thinking it's making bold choices and then just not.
Not, yeah. I think that's spot on.
What
Can
if
we
I
also
told you?
go ahead, Connor?
I was gonna say, what if I told you guys this was my favorite of the three?
You're that's why I
That
wanted.
is
You should have given your
Whoa.
review, man.
Insane.
You should have given your review.
Wait, why, Connor?
That's why I was waiting until spoilers done.
Very good.
I was texting Brock about this earlier, so I'm looking at my notes and I was texting him. But I don't know how long into the movie it is, maybe 30 minutes. I like that the Colonel and Jake have been going at it for 2 movies straight, pretty much. And now they're put into a situation where they have to work together. They have to like set aside their differences. And I like that it does it more than once in this movie. It looks like Stone disagrees with that, so we'll come back.
I hate those moments, but we can come back.
I really like those moments, so that might be why.
Jake, fucking kill him, Jake. Stop cracking jokes with them. He's tried to kill your family for 2 movies, but just keep going, Connor. Sorry.
Joel, I don't know if you've listened to the episode, but I've openly talked about my struggles with mental health in the past. So when Loak, is feeling all this guilt, he takes the gun, goes off by himself. That's a really emotional moment that I connected with. So that probably helps bring it up for me.
I did like that moment.
And
That was good.
I liked the city, and like kind of seeing where the sky people live. And one of the biggest parts I like about that is the marine biologist who goes and like rescues Jake. I get the complaint, and I'm with you guys that like he just disappears. We never hear about him again. But it also kind of feels like what I'm doing on social media, preaching about sharks. And like, if there was someone I knew that could go out and save just like the biggest school of sharks out there from just being slaughtered, I would also go rescue them and then just try and disappear because I knew I'd be in jail.
But he has already been slaughtering the whales. That's my problem. Like, he knows why he's there and has gone along with killing the whales, killing the hold on, what are their name? I feel disrespectful. Killing the Tulkun. But then when they're about to kill a lot of them, then he's like, oh no, these people are truly evil. So, my brother, last movie you were sucking juices from. I
don't think that's super fair. There's like there's like ways to deal with wildlife and ways to hunt that preserve the species, right? Or that are help them to stay healthy or like help the herd or whatever. And then there's ways that are like, I think that's a pretty basic hunting concept.
Yeah,
but I think he's saying what they're doing in this movie.
They're poaching. He knows that they're poaching, and he helps them.
Well, poaching is something that is like something that's illegal. Like, they're not really poaching. They're just like
they're murdering animals on this planet to take resources from them, even though he knows that there's a spiritual connection between them and the people of this planet. He doesn't give a shit. He is there to lend his knowledge to the sky people to put a needle in these guys' brains and suck out a juice that makes sky people live forever. Okay, I don't know why you guys are vouching for these kids.
We don't see it on screen, but there's also We don't see it on screen, but they also arguably threw this dude a just fucking motherload worth of money to go do it, and he set his morals aside for it, and then he probably.
Are you not allowed
He's
to
still
have
a bad.
growth?
He's still a bad guy.
Well, no
you
one's
are
arguing
allowed-
about his overall morality. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just.
he just
saying- I
does
was just-
something good. I don't know. Also, I
Yeah,
think
sure.
there's an argument that like when he's going to this planet, he doesn't know exactly what he's going to be doing there. He's there as a scientist, as like an advisor, as a scientist. He's there with like the military. He doesn't have. He's just a normal guy. It's not like he can say, "Hey, stop." Like once he gets to the planet and they say we're sucking out brain juice of these whales that are sentient, like shit. I don't know.
Such a stupid plot line. Like, what happened to like trying
At
to
least
clear
it's
the
not
land?
unobtainium. Remember the first movie, Unobtainium? Do you know how stupid that is? Who
They
came
couldn't
up with
obtain
that?
it. They couldn't obtain it.
It's so dumb.
Carter, do you have any more positives that you wanted to say?
I'll get back to you. But what were you gonna say in response to me?
Oh, to what? Which part?
Or was
Sorry.
that what you wanted to talk about? Was the marine biologist that I had brought up?
No,
it
you
was
said
wrong.
something.
You wanted to talk about the Colonel and Jake.
Oh yeah, it's stupid as hell. There's two moments in this movie where they literally it does the you said my problem. They use the exact same joke. They are trying to run away from the Ash people, and then they do successfully, and then they sit next to each other. And I think Quaritch, being a masculine man's like, I don't know, should we all hold hands right now? Right? He makes a joke about that. And then at the very end of the movie, a fight that I'm liking, Jake saves him, and then Quaritch goes, well, this is kind of awkward. I'm like, can we not? This is a serious time. I don't
That's like his
care if he-
personality, though. Like that is consistent, I would say.
Yeah.
sure,
All
I
right,
guess.
wait. Whoa. The Red Guardian just caught insane amounts of hate in Thunderbolts.
We're not
For being a little
comparing. We're not
goofy at the
comparing the
beginning.
MCU to Avatar
Because that's
no.
his character. He's a drunk. He's a disappointment.
But that's all he does. Like Quaritch also has a deep level of like evil that he can tap into, and like he does terrible things. Plus, it's also
I
a more
mean-
interesting character because like you're watching this thing that's like it's not even Quaritch. It's like it doesn't have a soul. It's just his memories in this corpse. Like it's very interesting, and I think Quaritch in Way of Water, like Avatar Quaritch, is far more interesting than Avatar 1 Quaritch because that's just a stereotypical villain, and then he becomes something interesting. And then I think having the dynamic with Farang and having you see little like Jake's trying to get through to him in this movie. He's like, look, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to go along with this. You can experience all this stuff I'm experiencing. Like he's kind of trying to like talk to him, as a person. But like the first time they have him, they should have just slit his throat and just like thrown his body in a gutter. Like he just
That's what I'm saying.
but they don't do it because Spider is with them. And I think that's the
That
only
makes
reason
sense.
that they don't.
So pretty much, if Spider, which I know you're the one Spider defender, I believe, if Spider wasn't in this film, it would be better. If he was just not in the movie.
Spider is the plot armor.
I mean, every single character has plot armor. I think Spider is there to be sort of the stand-in for the audience, to be like, look how cool all this stuff is, look how big they are, look how fast they are, look how dangerous it is for like a person and hard it is to just like live. Like I feel like he's an audience stand-in character to be like, wow, like look how amazing this is, and kind of remind you of like all of that. I think that's kind of why he's there. And I feel like his performance is super like energetic and like joyful, and like I find it hard to hate on actors who are like trying. I think like I'll like a Dakota Johnson who's just like, mindlessly staring into the void. Like, yes, I'll shit on you. But like someone who's trying, I don't know.
Well, I also feel like that's where it's repetitive again, though, because like you said, it's reminding the audience he's the human perspective, like our perspective almost. But that is the entire 3-hour first Avatar movie. I feel like
Yeah,
is
that's
what
fair.
happens. That's like if Harry Potter, in the 6th movie, you have another new kid that is not aware of the wizarding world.
The boy who also lived.
Yeah, and then he comes into Hogwarts and he's like discovering all the magic again. You're like, no, we discovered the magic with Harry 6 movies ago or 6
Wait,
books
wait.
ago.
I have a good segue. Speaking of Harry Potter, does anyone know without looking who is the Harry Potter actor in this movie that's new?
Yes, I don't know the actor's name, but I know who he is.
You don't know his name? That's
Wait, hold on. I'm not looking. Is his first name David
yes.
Tennell? David Tennell? Something like that?
Thulis.
Okay, starts with the T.
Harry Potter.
Plays
Uh,
Lupin.
Oh, my
yeah.
favorite character.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
You brought up a complaint of mine though. Wow, those wind traders. I mean, hopefully people don't listen to from TikTok who sent us the exclusive clip. Wow, exclusive clip. Those wind traders look really cool. Can't wait to see more of them. Wow, did they all die? What happened to the guy from Harry Potter? We don't know. We're not going to acknowledge that all those people just got slaughtered. They don't even talk about them. So that was a disappointment.
I honestly just want a spin-off movie about the Wind Traders. They're dope.
What happened to them though? Did they all perish?
You'll see
Probably.
it in Avatar 5, dude.
I
That's where
felt
we'll
like
get
their
to.
vibe was very much not about that life. They were just like, we just want to do wind trader stuff, and just like leave us alone, please.
Yeah,
I hope they're pissed at Jake, man. I hope they're pissed at Jake.
Also, can I just add, like, I don't know if this is, I might be the only person that had this thought. Like, what was the goal? Like, when the Raiders, quote unquote, came, like the Ash people, they were just there to like kill the wind traders. Like, they were just like blowing shit up. Like, what was the goal?
I think they wanted.
I did
to
like
rob-
the.
But they were just blowing their shit up. They weren't robbing them. They were just literally
Well,
massacring
yeah,
them.
I think once it crash landed, they were going to go rob it.
Oh, I think
I
that is right.
think-
They did steal stuff. I think there is a scene of
Yeah,
them
like,
like
they
in the
even
wreckage
pick
A
up
of
lot of
Crowley
them, they were
and
just
mix 'em
trying to kill. Like, I feel like they were just so dumb. Like, it's just like fire, like smash.
I did like
don't know.
I did like the kamikaze like pilot like kind of guy.
That's
Mad
Just lit himself on
Max.
fire.
Yeah, I love that
Like-
action sequence, honestly. Like, that's why I was like, oh no, I'm gonna love an Avatar movie that first like 30 minutes, because I was like all in, and I thought the action sequence was great. But then again, you get to a point, and it's like, oh wait, there was nothing really behind this. Oh wait, I just watched just aura farming in movie form, and that was pretty much it. Like,
this
and not to like, it's kind of lazy because I know everybody does it, but like, let's just compare it to the other Avatar. If you've all seen, I'm assuming. I'm gonna ignore you if you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Dude, the two of them have not,
Ignore me.
which
Oh
is
my-
insane. I know. Okay, here's
Well,
the plan.
I didn't know
Say.
Dan had him either.
Dude, we were gonna start talking about the series, but then I had the Escape Pod guys when they were on there talking about Stranger Things and how they dealt with season 5 and Alex not watching it.
Yeah,
So
that's like Andrew's
I
favorite show too.
I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite show, so I wanted to do this as soon as possible, and both of these guys agreed to it. But then I was like, you know what? We should hold off until the movie comes out next year. So that's when we're the
Live action
Aang,
show.
Aang, The Last Airbender.
Oh,
No,
that.
the movie. The movie.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, the growing up. Yeah, that's right. I
Yep.
forgot that was a thing that existed. Anyways, I was just gonna say the Fire Nation, in that a lot of the Fire Nation is very just like stereotypical kids cartoon. I'm twirling my mustache evil, but your equivalent to like a Varang or whatever actually has a reason that they're like that, and you see that throughout the thing. And again, that's a TV show that has 3 seasons. There's time, but James Cameron has time in his 3-hour 15-minute movie to show like, why are these people
Yeah.
what they are? Who is there? What's the real force outside of like Awa or something that's like making this group so different and so just randomly hateful? Like, it does not explore any of that, I feel like,
But remember, Barang will return.
in Avengers.
I hate Awa. Tell
Oh
me
my God.
why. Tell me why the Ash people should not be mad at Awa. Give me one good reason. Here's the thing.
Because
Awa
Awa is not some personal savior. Like,
Awa is not a god. Awa literally is the planet, right? So will we in the 4th or the 5th movie?
are we sure?
Yes, 100%. Kiri's like, yo, let me tap my.
But we
she's gonna-
literally get a personified version of Awa in this movie.
But what is happening is that Kiri is tapping into the planet. It's always that you're connecting yourself to Pandora. You can see Awa. I think we're gonna have I was surprised at the end of the movie where we didn't get like a core. We see the core of Pandora, and it's just like that giant head, and it's just Awa's like,
I feel like
Honestly,
it could
I
definitely be. Well, you can. I was just gonna say it could definitely be taken in a different way, where it's like, I don't. It's not just the planet itself, kind of thing. Like, it is just kind of this like, I don't know, greater force almost that is being like shown as that. But what were you
So
gonna say?
I think they actually made a mistake in this movie. Like, I think I think the intention was for it should be what you're describing. It should be sort of this more like, and I think when you look at the development of it, it takes a lot of inspiration from like Eastern religions. I think the idea is supposed to be more so an overall force, like something that kind of exists around you. And in this movie, like I mean, we can argue about it, but like you get a personified, really stupid, in my opinion, version of Awa. And I think having if the idea there is to have this like individual god that's like a single entity, that's again regressive, I think, to what the whole fucking point of these movies has been. Um, and also takes away from like everything they've kind of been saying, which kind of said I felt about the Ash people, which is weird, but like I didn't like that at all. I thought it was a really stupid scene. Um, like you said before, Sigourney Weaver's voice acting is also just terrible. It doesn't fit this character. It looks really weird. They also had a romance in this movie with Spider, which is like makes me feel so uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Something about that is very wrong. Um, and the character was already uncanny, so like that did not work for me at all.
That's what I'm saying about Awa though. Is like Awa is personified in this movie. Awa allowed that volcano to happen and to destroy the Ash people, like in their homes. Like why are they begging this good entity, this great entity that Interior says hold out hope for help, and it's continuing to say no, like I'm not going to help you. Like
Well,
Kiri
can't you
goes
say
there
that about can't you say that about God in our reality?
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say,
I
I was
was
like, I
thinking
don't know
the same way.
which angle we want to
Like,
take here, but
but
I
that's
mean,
I'll
why
be direct. Like
no. But that's why I purposely said that Awa, to me, is not a god. You do see Awa is in charge of all this planet. Kiri is tapping into Awa and being able to control parts like creatures and plants in the second movie. So I don't understand why that happened. Because I would be mad too if how they personify Awa in this is that Awa is in charge of everything. Everything is connected through her. So why did the volcano happen? That's all I'm asking. And I do agree, Dan. I think it would have been
it's
so.
a natural occurrence. What do you mean?
I didn't really.
Why did Pompeii
Well,
happen? Like what?
but this is Pandora. We don't have like we can't connect our
But
hairs
there's
to the earth.
Pandora still has like a circle of life. Like there's always like there's an ecosystem. Like things eat each other. They live. They die. Like there's not Awa is not individually reaching into the life of every creature to protect it. That's not how any god works, right? Like
Yeah, I do agree though. I wish Varang got to talk to somebody about, like it seems like such a missed opportunity. It's gonna come in the fourth or the fifth movie. Can't wait for that. But like I
maybe.
wish
Varang
Varang
will
got to
return.
talk to somebody about Awa. And like nobody in this movie besides Quaritch knows what happened to Varang and her people. They don't talk about it unless it's like some common knowledge, like, oh yeah, they hate Awa because natural disaster, she let that happen. It would be so interesting for Kiri and Varang to talk and their different perspectives. Can't wait for the
well,
fourth one.
what do you guys think they're gonna? Is their long term plan with Kiri's character? Because I almost feel like they're getting into like a dangerous territory where
It's
I
already
just don't
there.
know if it's
Yeah.
gonna like undercut certain stuff that's happened before, or if it's just gonna turn this into something that's like, I don't know. Are we going like not the evil term, but like I don't know, the Anakin
That'd be sick.
Skywalker?
I was
like,
just what if she turns into Paul Atreides?
yeah, well,
That'd be
that's a
sick.
bold decision again that we're not gonna do in Jim Cameron's family
Maybe
adventures.
maybe she goes and works with Varang and teaches Varang how to talk to Awa.
Good, because I have
I
a
also
bone to pick with
can we?
Awa.
I just think it's Stone. What?
I don't like Awa. Like, why did they have to beg her to help? She could have helped the entire time. She could have helped. She helps. She's even in the first movie. It's so weird to me that in the first movie they ask her for help, right? I think Jake connects his hair and he's like, "Please, mother, help." It works. All the animals come and they save the day at the very end of the first
That's
movie.
happened in every single movie.
Yes, but through Kiri, it's a little bit different. But no, even in the third movie, yeah, not necessarily the second one, but in this one, Awa does the same thing. But that's like it doesn't.
All the animals come in the second one, like from the ocean.
But they're Tolkien,
and the other ones too.
There's a lot of there's a lot.
It's
that
literally
happens
the
in
same
movies.
exact thing happens. Like
The third act of these films, you could just mix all three of them together, the endings of each film, and come out with pretty much the same product out at the end of it.
I'm done talking about Awa, by the way. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I thought I
I
did
was
think
going to
that
push you a little bit there, but
I did think that the giant head was
Awesome.
going to be Sigourney Weaver, and I thought that'd be really funny.
funny. I don't know about funny, but
The giant head just made me think of 2001's A Space Odyssey and the giant baby.
Yeah, it does remind me of that.
just really quick, I wanted to say, and as I'm saying that, the thought is leaving my brain. Oh, with the character Kiri, do you guys think it's odd? Like she is Jesus, essentially. Like that's what she is in this world. I feel like it's very strange that she is the daughter essentially of a human, and she can just do all these things that none of the Na'vi who have been on Pandora their entire lives can do, and she's like the savior in this movie. Does anyone else feel like that's kind of a strange
Well, I think like that's what I was kind of
decision?
alluding to. Like, it could go in a way where this character kind of undermines everything you've been going towards. If this character continues on the path she is, like, I don't know, maybe there will be some dark turn, or she's, I don't know, somehow corrupted or something. But like, as of right now, you're watching a movie that's like Anakin Skywalker, or I guess Paul Atreides is different because he wasn't like born from nothing, but still, you're watching a movie right now where it's like Anakin or Paul Atreides are now like the seventh main character in the movie. Like they're like not there, and I don't know. Like again, we have to wait and see, which is not what I want to have to think about after watching this movie. But you just have no idea where it's going to end because it could go in a really bad like direction. I feel like where it does undermine everything these movies have been building up to, like you said, because it's like, why is this character this compared to everyone else?
Can we also ask who pierced the nose of the mama priestess Tokun?
I don't know, but I think it looks sick. See, Dan, you're not supposed to think about these movies that hard, right? Awa can do what she wants. The Tolkien, they can pierce their nostrils. You know, Kiri, she can sound like she's having an orgasm when she resurrects, Spider. It's fine. Don't
Spider's
think about
mask
it that
can
hard.
somehow magically stay on while
I
he's
just
flying through the air on the back of a whale.
I don't understand that your AWA concern is just that she doesn't it doesn't automatically help them. Like
Yep.
you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
So like if you pray, does every single thing you pray for come true because God is reaching into your life in that moment? Like that's not how, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
But
you
even
can talk to God if you believe in God, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna respond.
right, but like I said, I don't see Awa as a god in this. First of all, because I obviously I think she's part of the planet. But then secondly, it's because they do push hard enough. There's like 3 or 4 of them in the little spirit tree, and it's like finally Awa is a person, like it is a like turns to them, and it's like, oh shit, there's 4 of you. I guess I'll do it now. That doesn't make me like Awa. Like if that makes sense. I'm like,
Well,
why are you
if
just now gonna help them?
if Awa is the planet and not God, but couldn't you say like that's like the creation of the God? Like Awa's just that's her perfect creation. She decided to make Pandora or something. Like she's deciding to create these things. Just like you can say like, oh, the cows and the trees and everything. It's God's creation. Like you can say that. I don't think Awa is definitively like just like a planet. It's not like you're just watching like the moon that you can just tap into or something.
I do get there's very much a spiritual nature to it. So I don't blame people for being like Awa is their god because that's how they talk about her, and everything. So I don't blame. Yeah, it's just like
I think it is just the life force that connects the entire planet. The plants, the animals, the Navi, like that's
the
sort of,
volcano.
and yeah, I think that's no, not the volcano stone. That's just a volcano.
We need
Um,
the midichlorians from Star Wars, and we got to get the midichlorian count on Awa to confirm that
Yeah.
she has enough magic power.
but I think with what we're saying here, A was just another example of another thing that is not well fleshed out. Really, it's pretty vague. Um, and like I said, I found that scene to be ridiculous. And in Way of Water, they already did the thing where they said if she plugs into the underwater tree one more time, she could die. That happened in the second movie. and then she does it in this movie, then she does it again, and they say if you do it again, you're gonna die. Like we already did that. So
When you guys talk about the repetitive nature of these movies, I didn't agree until a certain point, because I was like, the thing with the Wind Traders, I'm like, that's new. That didn't happen at the beginning of The Way of Water. There was an action sequence at the beginning of The Way of Water, but that's different. They go and visit the human camp. They're in there a lot. I'm like, this is different. This is not The Way of Water. The moment in this film where I'm like, this really reminds me of The Way of Water too much, and I think this is a flaw, is when Quaritch is on that boat with another one of Jake Sully's family members, literally is on the comms, and he's like, Jake, I got your woman here, and I'm gonna kill her if you don't give me my boy back. I was like, that exact thing happened in The Way of Water, and I'm like, ugh. Maybe Jake should have killed him earlier. No matter if Spider was there or not, because something that's also underdeveloped. I don't get the fatherly connection between Spider and Jake, and even Jake and Neytiri. Both Jake and Neytiri have held a knife to Spider's throat. I would leave if I were him.
where's he gonna go?
Just be with the human, like hang out with the guy, the nice whale guy.
No,
That's not a livable.
no. I mean, he loves the Na'vi. I think the scene where Jake thinks about killing him was really also underbaked, and it also came after the ridiculous escape. That whole sequence, my mouth was just open. I was like, this is dumb. But again, killing him there would have been really interesting. Like that would have been a bold choice, but this movie doesn't make bold choices. So
I really want Jake to die. I really want
what
Jake
we're
to
asking
die.
for is like, it might just not be in here. Like James Cameron literally had an interview where he's talking about the fact like, oh, you can play the awards game or you can play the game I like, which I like the part of the video that he was talking about like, oh, sci-fi doesn't get recognized at the awards, and he was talking about like, oh, Dune got robbed and Avatar doesn't get nominated even though it has been nominated, but he was still complaining about that. I agreed with the sci-fi part, but then he's like, oh yeah, I make the movies people want to see instead of the awards play, which obviously there's some truth to, like there are obviously
Yeah.
Oscar bait movies, but like I feel like he is almost too intentionally making these like just pure
Palatable
blockbusters
movies, yeah.
without, because like I said, like Dune, the entire premise of that movie is kind of built around the idea of these religions and the fabrication of them and like your prophecies and leaders and all this stuff. That's the entire point of Dune. Avatar, I feel like is just touching on some of these subjects, but it's really never going to get into them. It almost feels like it's like the white guy came, saved the day, and we're done here.
Fell in love. Yeah.
I was also shocked that guy who got his arm ripped off in the boat was still like alive. He's like, all right, let's kick it. Let's go shoot these whales again. I was like, damn, I thought you were dead for sure. No, you just got a new arm.
That's got to be one of the worst deaths.
Well, he didn't
Yeah.
die. So
No, I'm saying, yeah, getting drugged to the just abyss of the ocean.
in this movie, he did die. Yeah. Imagine if he comes back to
Your
it.
head
Like,
would
man,
just
nobody
explode.
dies.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, it'd be
I
like
just-
the whole Ocean Gate or whatever it was again.
I just wanted to say maybe one more thing here. And I was working on a video about this. In all these movies, I think one of the biggest problems today, and this is a problem in modern movies, I think in general, battles are not well written. Like in both of these movies, what you do is the battle starts, it goes really well, something something happens, everything goes badly. So it's a straight line up, and then it's a straight line down, and then oh my God, it's Awa. Every animal has decided to come kill the humans. We win. Like it's not interesting. And like I was rewatching The Two Towers, and I was watching Helm's Deep, and this is what I'm working on a video about. Like the beauty of Helm's Deep is it's like it's push and pull the entire time. It's small action, response, small success, another failure, reaction, like it's like a tug of war. And it's in the background it's showing you like what's at risk. It's showing you the people and the women and the children, like it's aware of that. And then um it's cutting back and forth to Merry and Pippin and the Ents and stuff, like for a little bit of levity in between. And like there are some jokes used with Gimli and Legolas, but they're They feel natural, but it's all paced really well, and it's over the course of like a half hour. And now in a battle, it's just like they're winning, they're losing, they win, and there's no tension. Um, but I don't think that's just the Avatar movies. I think that's like a big problem right now, and it all feels very repetitive.
I guess that's also why I wish AWOL wasn't like a god. I hate to bring this back, but it is boring because at the end of, I mean, we talked about this with the Chronicles of Narnia movies, Dan. It's like I hate that the Chronicles of Narnia movies, like at the very end, it's just like Aslan saves the day. Finally, at the very end, like he just shows up and he's just there. I might be a little bit hazy on my memory of those, but that's how I took them. And it is just like, yes, finally, AWOL will finally give in and will help you and will save you all.
So maybe the better comp for Kiri is Neo in the Matrix. I feel like she almost feels like someone that can plug into the Matrix. Like it's not so much her reaching out to Awa the god and Awa saying, "Okay, small being, I will do your bidding." It's her plugging into a system and manipulating it herself with the power that she has. I think that's maybe a better comp. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I like that. I will say, I think maybe we can all agree on this. Hopefully, not hopefully, but I'm curious. I think the way that the filmmaking is set up in this particular sequence, I think they're expecting this to be a shock to everybody, which I think is a flaw. It's the whole, should we tell Kiri like who her real father is? I don't know about you guys, but in the second movie, and in like before they announced that there was no father, I just assumed that was always the case. Who the fuck, who would have been her dad? Like Quaritch or Jake? Like there's no other dudes. Is it going to be like, I just assumed that something like that would happen. And when they said it, I think it was supposed to be this. I was just like, yeah, doesn't surprise me on Pandora. Awa doesn't know what she's doing usually. So she's just like, yeah, I'm just going to have a kid through Sigourney Weaver's body.
It could have been Joel David Moore. Don't sleep on him.
Is that random human that's just chilling with them now? Like scientist guy? There's a human that's been with them the entire time from the first movie who just like hangs out and like deals with people if they have like medical problems. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a joke that in the second movie, they're like, yeah, look at him. He's getting next to Sigourney Weaver. They probably banged. That was pretty funny. The kids 10% of the time are okay. The dialogue, why is Sigourney Weaver Kiri saying the term, and I quote, penis head in the second movie? Don't need that dialogue from a child, especially Sigourney Weaver child.
Did you go to public
Why is that for next?
That does sound pretty accurate. But again, it doesn't mean it's good to listen to. Like, just like my Stranger
we literally
Things.
used to play a game in the lunchroom called Penis to see who could say it louder. So
they are on Pandora. They aren't in high school. There's 4 kids. Sorry.
It's more so the fact that it's like a older woman doing the voice acting.
I'm with Dan on that.
It's just jarring because she looks young. I don't know. I think it was a weird choice. And like I respect her performance, like doing all the motion capture stuff. I think that's awesome.
100%. Holding her breath and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, Sigourney Weaver. When you talk about the most influential actors in the history of science fiction, like, can you name someone else? Like, truly, when you think about it. So, just doesn't quite work for me. Is Han Solo a real person?
I meant Harrison Ford because in my head I was like, well, Han Solo, Blade Runner.
Harrison Ford's a good answer. Yeah.
I mean, she will be in the best movie of 2026, The Mandalorian and Grogu with the Antichrist, little Yoda baby.
Don't get me started. It's too late for this.
That movie, I hope it kind of just sputters out and makes like $85 at the box office. But I feel like, I mean, again, it's a thing to like sell more Baby Yoda toys, so they don't care probably. But it does not look good.
It's a terrible title for a film too. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. I'm like, what a bad name.
Well, I also don't think Star Wars Starfighter is a good one either. The Ryan Gosling film, like,
I think that movie's going to be bad.
Sean Levy will save us. After his
I saw the trailer for Gosling's new sci-fi movie. I'm very excited for that. That looks fun.
Project Hail
Mary.
Yeah.
Quick tangent about that. I bought the book and have been reading it like slowly. And I was very proud that I bought the book before it said soon to be a major motion picture on it. I lost the book. So now I bought a new one today that says soon to be a major motion picture.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book, but I'll be interested to see how people feel about the humor because I feel like it's the style of humor everybody hates and complains about now. It's kind of like that quippy, almost like millennial kind of older guy humor, which I did like the book a lot, but we'll see how it translates.
It's in the
with
book
Ryan
like that,
Gosling.
right? I would say
Yeah.
I'm like 10 chapters in. Yeah. So
I think Gosling
Yeah.
can deliver it properly. Stone, you know what book I just ordered?
Avatar: The Last Airbender, the comic series.
No,
Or something.
I have
Big
that
Short.
behind me somewhere.
What'd you order?
Bible.
What'd you order?
The
The
Big
Bible?
Short.
Oh, you're crazy, Connor. All right, you guys. I wrote this in our outline. I don't know if you guys thought of anything. What would you like to see in the fourth movie? Like, what is something that I feel like we've been
I
talking
wanna
about this
see,
movie a little bit longer, but
I want to see the Na'vi kill everyone on Pandora, all the humans, and then take their ships and fly to Earth, and then try to kill everyone on Earth, but then they all die, and the movie ends.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
I'm
Dan's
in.
brought up some apocalyptic movie idea.
yeah, Dan really wants murder to happen. I mean, I do too, but like Jake should have died in this movie. He really should have. I wish
They
that
all
happened.
should be dead. They're fighting against, they all should be dead. It's
They don't
ridiculous.
got Awa,
but-
dude. My girl, Awa.
You know what? In the next movie, I want AWOL to die.
Damn,
I like
that's
that
dark.
idea.
That is dark. The whole planet would die.
Well,
They
Awa's a
definitely
god.
go to
She's not the
Earth.
Someone to
planet.
die.
You hit him with that reverse Uno card.
Maybe they can just pull up like the Death Star to Pandora. That's their next like escalation. They're like, you know
Maybe
what,
we
we're
can
done
get
with this, dude.
somehow Greenwich returned.
Who?
Who
The Colonel's name? I forget his name.
Quaritch.
Quaritch. Thank you.
isn't
I thought
Krennic
you were saying-
from?
I thought you were saying
Who's
Ben
the guy from
Mendelsohn.
Andor?
Krennic,
Yeah.
Krennic or something.
Krennic.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, Ben Mendelsohn?
My brain just like short circuited. Yeah.
I think
That was
mine
really
did too.
Joel, do you have any requests for James Cameron to put an Avatar 4 in 4 years?
I mean, honestly, kind of unironically, what he was saying, like, I don't know, someone actually big needs to die or be left dead or something. Like, you can't just keep. I don't know. It's not like killing off a character doesn't immediately make a movie good, but it does get to a point where it's like people are repeatedly surviving and coming back from the dead of things that should not be happening. And it just kind of cheapens everything going forward if that keeps happening. And I would like to see more something with the airbenders, but we probably won't really explore that, I don't think. But
I mean,
I don't know, they're
Cameron
kinda
has. He did say it in an article. I made a video about it, but he did say in an article with Empire back in July that they're going to be a big part of 4 and 5. So supposedly they will return. But I thought that they're going to be a big part of this movie. No one gave a shit about them. Say that. I will say I think it's people are like, oh, I wish death was in movies. Like, I wish people had died. You know, it had stakes. I feel like people think that's like a lazy complaint. I just hate like Stranger Things 5 is just like there's 30 characters. Like I just hate like the more like I feel like we get into franchises all the time. It's just building more and more and more, and it just leaves less time for the characters I really care about. Like that's what I wrote down for my Avatar 4. Is like I would like them like just I like the Mekaina people. I think they're cool. Dan, do you know the name of the daughter for the Mekaina? If you do, you're crazy. That Loak likes.
The daughter.
There's no way.
No,
You will
I don't
not-
want to take too long. I'm not.
Yes. Okay, I won that
No.
time.
Why does that make you
Anyways.
happy?
Because I said that I was
You're
thinking of
an idiot,
because
Dan.
my Kate Winslet thing. You were supposed to be like, no, I don't know her name, and then you did. So
Okay.
that was a bummer. Sorry, but yeah, that was good. That was impressive. Anyways, I like leave the Mekaina behind. Like leave the water. Like go see other people. Like we don't need those characters to come along for the journey. We really don't. I mean, one of them did die, so thumbs up there. But just make it about
Also,
the
the
family.
son just gets murked, and then just that's it.
Yeah, no one acknowledges
like-
him really. He's just there at the end.
Yeah.
yeah, you can also
Poor
like you could subtract and just pull back the scale and be like, okay, Avatar 4, we're focusing on Jake and Natiri are going who knows where, anywhere, but you're mainly focusing on these two characters. You don't even need to start like killing off half the cast. You could just tell a story focusing on different aspects instead of 75 different people.
I mean, I'm watching Breaking Bad for the first time right now, and I just like that I'm in the 3rd season, and there's like 6 characters or 7 characters. I'm like, cool. There's not a lot of people to
How
follow.
many?
Oh,
6 or
gosh.
7 characters.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Didn't think that was gonna get past me.
Sorry,
My
I
brain
didn't
had been
even. I didn't even
rotted.
realize it.
So badly, I can't hear those numbers.
Just do it. I know it's not as pretty to look at, Big Jim Cameron. I'm sorry, but have the 4th movie where the Ash people are. Like I want to be there. We were there for
What do
like
they
10
eat?
minutes. Ass, boobs.
The air travel people, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were killing them for.
They
Like,
eat the. That'd be sick.
sorry,
Cannibalism
this shit's so
on
stupid.
Pandora.
Also, when you saw them in their little fucking village, there was like 50 of them, and then at the end there was like 300 of them. Like where it doesn't. I don't know.
They came from the Ash.
Never let them know
This
your
movie
next
pissed
move.
me off. I did like the scene with the sniper. When
Yeah,
he
That was sick.
That was cool.
That was
yeah.
that was the one moment. That moment, and also where Loak almost took his own life. Those are the 2 moments I was like, damn. Those moments, like, I know it's a serious moment, but I'm like, those went hard. Like I was like drawn into the movie. I was like, holy shit! Like Corch is like this one, he just drops. Ooh,
Yeah.
I was like, that was fucking cool. And I'm very sexy. She's like looking right at the sniper. She's like, all right, come into my tent. Which Corch is dumb as hell. He's just like, okay.
No, that's pretty fitting for a Marine. Also, my final thought is like one of my least favorite questions in the world, mostly from when I was a bartender at a country club and dealing with old white people, was how do you feel
worst.
being a Marine Corps veteran that the Marines are the enemy in these movies?
Who cares?
Yeah,
It's not real.
that's
Like,
my
I don't know.
real answer. Like, I don't really care that much. Like, also, guess what? No matter if you're the good person in one story, you're the bad person in someone else's. History is not written by the losers.
Yeah, and it's not like Marines have never like we've been in places we should not have been. Like this is it's the reality of it. Like it's not fiction. So
Connor, I know how you are. It's just funny when we're talking about the honesty. I feel like this is a good way to wrap up this episode. Do you look at the accuracy of the uniforms of the military? You didn't just talk about that, I don't think, but like what they're wearing.
They're
Because they're
different.
Marines, right?
They're completely different. But this is like a futuristic movie, you know?
Everyone take notes. There we go.
Yeah. They're like similar enough to like, I could see us evolving to this, but yeah. The only thing that bothered me a little bit was in this one, the general's stars on her hat were not lined up. The like third star was like a centimeter down and it bothered me. That was it.
got the eagle eye.
The Marines in this movie are so funny. I mean, it reminds me of Aliens, but like they just talk like they're 2 years old. Like Quaritch wakes up in the way of water. He's like, "What happened?" And he's like, "You're in an avatar." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, hoorah!" They add hoorah to, like the end of like just random sentences, and it's so funny. Like they're like, "Hell yeah!" I just like random military jargon is so funny. Oh gosh, nice one, stuff like that. Anyway, speaking of nice one, Joel, you've been a great guest. We've gone over on our time. There's a lot of this movie to talk about. I appreciate you sticking around and being here for a movie that you didn't necessarily enjoy that much, man.
Like I said, I will take any opportunity to be able to trash on Avatar. All my comments are just people like, I have no problem if you love these movies. And I never have said like, oh my God, if you like these movies, you're the dumbest person that's ever lived. But that's how people take things now. But it's entertaining to read. So,
Which is a shame. And like that, I guess that is why people take it so personally. Because like I like the first 2 movies and I didn't love this, and like some people have freaked out in the comments. It's just like I don't like I like these in general, but like the movie has problems. It doesn't mean you're dumb for liking them. Like what you like.
well,
Do you
even
not
like
appreciate what Big Jim did? Like, are you not watching what's on the screen? Do you not see this? Yes, I do, but the story is like it.
yeah, I even stated like, oh yeah, I'm not that big on the first 2 Avatar movies. They'd be like around a 6 out of 10 for me. And then everyone in the comments like, oh, well, I'm not going to listen to your opinion. I'm like, no, I gave that so you can judge. Like, if you feel the same as me, you might feel the same about the third one. Or if you know you love the first 2, you're probably going to like the third one more than me. It's not like everything is not a war, but oh well.
Yeah.
We'll have another Avatar in a couple of years. What is it, 2029?
2029, I think 2031. You know what's crazy is that Stephen Lang came out and he recorded all this in 2017. that insane? But it was 10 years
Yeah.
since he did like
Yeah,
this movie.
It's a long time.
Because I think the Raiders of the Lost podcast guys said that the only person who really came back to film stuff was Jack Champion, because he's like the only person who's in live action. Everyone else who did motion capture, you could just use their stuff from back in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Shout out to Jack.
shout out Jack. I love you, man. Just I can't wait to see what you're working with next, because hopefully they have some better dialogue written for you. Because oh boy. Anyways, that's the Vets movies. You have to change your username now. But
Yep.
tell people where they can find you, man. Appreciate you joining us.
Yes, at vetzmovies on everything pretty much. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Letterboxd. Mainly 2026 might be half transitioning into full-time YouTuber because TikTok is annoying. But I'm sure I will keep posting on there every single day and still be addicted to posting on it. Also, super secret Vets React second page, which I don't actually post reactions on, but it's kind of me just dumping like videos that are either too short, under a minute, or like long 5+ minute videos on there that are the same exact thing. Because again, my main TikTok account and me have beef lately. But yes, at Vets Movies on everything.
Oh yeah,
That is
guys,
my-
please follow Vets. One of the
Please.
funniest,
I
most
need it.
genuine guys. Yeah, he does. He's getting that
I need
Odyssey
it.
premiere, the Odyssey world premiere. He needs to be there.
I'm going to make a game plan. I'm going to post about it once a week. And then I'm going to send out all my videos and say, hey, look at this promotion. Get me to this premiere.
That's a really smart idea.
I don't think it's going to work, but
Can't hurt to
Try.
try.
No, unless you try. Exactly, 100%. I wanted to say something real quick. I know Connor's not here. Probably helping out with his family currently. Vets, I don't know if you know this. This is our 100th episode.
Yeah.
Which is wild. You are on our 100th episode. It's not wild that you're on our 100th episode. It's wild that we have gotten to this point. I mean, I feel like everyone, when they start social media, they're like, hey, we want to start a podcast. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. I don't know if you've had that thought in the back of your mind, but I know, we've seen creators do it, stuff like we're doing. I didn't know that this was going to last this long. We don't have a huge following. We're trying our best, but this has been great. And I hope that our audience who is listening to us now has enjoyed their time on these other 100 episodes. We'll make a bigger deal when we get to 200, maybe. I kind of just realized that we were getting to 100. I was like, shit. I thought it was next week, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but 100 episodes and this podcast is built on a lie. Because if you go back a year ago, there was a promise made that a first episode of Attack on Titan would be watched by the next time I was on this podcast. You can check the tape.
Who said that?
Was that-
Oh, me?
was that all
I
of
think
us, or
that
was
was
it-
me. No, that
was
sounds
you
like
for
me.
sure.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah, that does sound like me.
I mean,
watched
you
the
might have
first 3 episodes.
reeled Dan into it, into your own promise. I don't think he made it on his own conditions, though.
I've had a lot of people tell me to watch it and say I would really like it. So I've definitely considered it.
There's so many shows to watch. I think my next show after
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, which I'm really trying to get through Breaking Bad as quickly as possible, is probably going to be Peaky Blinders, because I want to try to get it done by the movie, and that's going to be very hard to do because it comes out. in
Yeah, I
March,
just
think.
rewatched it. It's one of my favorite shows.
That's
It's
smart.
one of the only
Yeah,
shows I've ever rewatched. I don't rewatch shows ever, but I've rewatched Peaky Blinders.
Speaking of shows, next week we're going to have probably our buddies who have been on to talk about series a lot. LP and Jimmy. Hopefully we haven't reached out to them yet, but they're usually really kind guys and they like to join us. But we're going to talk about Pluribus, which is RogerEbert.com says it is the second best show of the entire year. Saw that today. So excited to talk about
What did
it.
they say was best? Andor?
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, good for Andor. But yeah, stay tuned next week for that. Guys, thank you for listening to Go Well Podcasting for 100 episodes. If you have listened to every single episode, say it in the chat down below. But no, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate all of our guests that have been on over these 2 years or so, especially that's we're going to watch Attack on Titan as soon as we end this episode. But
I'm never
until
invited back again, so you don't have to.
I'm never
Hold up
coming
your
back. No. Dude, Vets movies on Instagram and everything. But no, Vets Reacts. for if you guys really like, if 1 minute is just too long and you want like 24-second content, that's the place to be.
1 minute can be a
Follow-
lot of me. Sometimes
Follow-
it's like, all right, this guy's like 25-second content at best.
Follow him on YouTube, please. That's super exciting. I've been meaning to do that for
Yeah.
forever. I wanted to do it for Avatar, didn't get around to it, but until next week, until Pluribus, follow Vets, go watch a good movie, watch Peaky Blinders. Heard it's a good show. Sit on a park bench, touch some grass, and we'll see you guys then. Peace out, everybody.
Adios.